Well. It is time for Cowboys After Dark. Let's get it. All right. Let me tell you something. I saw something today that I think is worth talking about. This Cowboys culture change, it really does need to be examined. I'm telling you, this team is different. Let's go. Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. So, if you like this live stream, please don't forget to hit that like, share, hit the notification bell so that the next time we post another video or go live. And yes, we are live. And if you haven't become a channel member or subscriber yet, please do. We have a lot of great things coming up this season. Now let's talk facts. So, this is not clickbait. We are going to talk about the culture change in Dallas. And we're going to talk about the proof of the culture change in Dallas. Now, if you didn't see it this past Thursday, I'm going to let you listen to some player interviews. I did not know these were up on DallasCowboys.com, but there are player interviews up right now. And there are two player interviews that I want to listen to in particular. We may listen to a couple of extra, but there are two. There are two that I want to listen to in particular. And I think this is they are the epitome of this Cowboys culture change. Also, we may talk a little bit about the Bears tonight. Simply because we got to play them in a couple of weeks. And I just don't think the Cowboys are going to have too much of a problem with the Bears. They still got a long way to go. They came back on by J.J. McCarthy and the Minnesota Vikings. I'm pretty sure we're going to probably be able to handle up on them too. It's going to be a very good game, but I think we're better handle up on it. But nevertheless, we are going to continue also where we were today, and I'm going to acclimate what I'm talking about into this. So today, we were talking about the shoddy presser. We talked about Stephen Jones, and where I want to go back to is Stephen Jones. We're going to listen, we're probably going to listen to the Bobby Belt thing. We're going to listen to the 105.3 The Fan thing from about Shoddy and his debut. And then I'll talk about the NFC Power Ranks, the Giants, and I'm going to flip the Bears in there too from tonight. But nevertheless, that is going to be the show again tonight. I want to get right back into this thing. We're going to do a quick roll call. And whether it be 5 or 5,000, we're about to talk Cowboys. Appreciate y'all rocking with me. Let's go. Get this quick roll call in. Appreciate y'all rocking with me after dark. We'll greet others as they come in. But let's get this thing going. Derek G. Yes, sir. He said, DC4L, love your show. Appreciate you, Derek G. Big Rombowski. Let's get that coffee brewing. Let's go. Derek G. I'm about to let you hear some on Kenny Clark. It's going to make you even more believe that Kenny Clark is a nice addition. He is better than a nice addition, Derek G. I think before this year is up, we're going to talk about Kenny Clark is a pivotal pickup. Pivotal. Lord Nova, 85, welcome to the congregation tonight. My brother Roger, what is going on with you out in the Flow Rider? What's going on? C-Bass up in this thing. What's going on? The Basement Boys, the hoodies in the building. Good to see you tonight. A-Crowd 79, salute. My man Jerry Thomas up in here, been here from the beginning. Jerry says, we have a team that showed us we have the formula to beat super teams like the Eagles will hurt. Philadelphia should keep their head on a swivel. We're coming for that crown. You know what's so crazy, Jared? Philadelphia is scrambling, trying to make moves. And we're mad because the Cowboys aren't making moves. So does anybody not find it to be strange that the Eagles are making moves and they're the one that won the game? What is that telling you? The Eagles realize they won on the scoreboard, but they didn't win the game in between the hash marks. Because they realized, had it not been for drops, had it not been for a fumble, that the Dallas Cowboys pretty much had their number and Dak Prescott was unstoppable. They know what's going on. Man, I'm telling you, people don't sometimes understand these things. I guess it's all about perception. Glass half empty, glass half full. I'm a glass half full person. Real estate vet up in this thing. What's going on? Lonnie Cabal in here at midnight. What's going on? Robert Simmons. Yes, sir. What up again? Yeah. The Bears and the Vikings is not a problem with me. We're going to beat both those teams. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. I think we have a little too much for them. Mason Barlett, this team is all about football. That's the key. This team is all about football, and I love it, man. One man is no bigger than the other. We talked about it today. We're going to elaborate on it now. Paris, Carlock, what's going on? Which I see you. Kimbo, 88, what's up? Good to see you tonight. Fred Casares, what's going on? He said, what a big difference with Kenny Clark. Man, pivotal addition. Schrader McGavin, what's going on? Here to listen. Let's go. Darko, Oklahoma home. What's good, bro? Good to see you tonight. All right, let's get into this thing. So today, I want to flip back to Stephen Jones. And then we're going to launch off of what Stephen Jones said. And I'm going to show you why Brian Schottenheimer, I'm going to show you the proof that Brian Schottenheimer has absolutely changed the culture in Dallas. Brian Schottenheimer has changed the culture in Dallas. And I'm going to tell you some stuff tonight, man. This is Cowboys After Dark, man. We're going to say what we want to say. You know, we're not using profanity, but we're going to say what we want to say and say what needs to be said. But after listening to these Cowboys players, I'm realizing something about what the Cowboys have done over the last 2 to 3 weeks. It's all making sense to me now. It is all making sense to me now. Especially after listening to Micah Parsons today. And after listening to these interviews in particular from Solomon Thomas and from Kenny Clark. Brian Schottenheimer has changed this culture. Dak Prescott, you heard what he said. And we may start out with Dak Prescott. We've already heard Dak Prescott, but we may start out just with his first answer on Thursday night. And then we're going to listen to other answers from Thursday night. But I'm telling you, I want to go back to Stephen Jones. Because when I heard Stephen Jones say this today, I was thoroughly impressed. Thoroughly impressed. But in case it went over our heads, this is what is letting me know that the Cowboys, they're different. They're all about football. And I want you to hear Stephen Jones, and then I'm going to give you this next comment about Micah Parsons that people might not want to accept. Because I'm going to tell you something about some people. There are some people that when I see them and see them post things and I hear them talk, there are just people that I would never want to play on a team on. I don't care how talented they were. I would never want to play on a team with certain people. Because certain people, they really believe in a lot of nonsense behavior as it applies to teams. And I'm all about having fun. I can understand where Jimmy was, swag and having fun. I get with that. But also Jimmy didn't put up with nonsense when it came to his team. And he didn't put up with nonsense when it came to on the field. But I want you to hear what Stephen Jones again from today. And it was the latter part of his conversation that really started me to thinking. And then I heard these other two interviews, and then it's really starting to make sense now. This is Stephen Jones.
I mean, if we did a contract 8 games into the season, so be it. I will say this. I love the thought process of most of the players that we draft is they like to keep their mind on their business, but it still doesn't mean we can't get a guy like Tyler Smith done, here early. And certainly we'd be all for it, but we also respect when players want to get down to business and focus on the task at hand. But we're all about keeping our great players and guys who want to be Cowboys and be a part of something special. That's what we're about.
Do you feel like you guys have moved into advanced talks with Tyler Smith's people at all?
Yeah, it's unfair for me to comment. I mean, any further than I have. Don't want to get into any detail. When deals get done, they get announced and they're done, and people go about their business. You hope it doesn't change anything, because that's why you want to give a guy a contract, is what he's all about. And certainly Tyler's all about the right things, and we'd love to have him here.
Jerry did say multiple times that the Micah trade was worth 5 players.
Now, this is, I think, the part I want you to hear. I want you to hear what Stephen Jones says right here. It's just very, very, very eye-opening. Listen.
I was really wishing he'd say, like what he said about Jimmy Johnson, 5 Heisman players, but he didn't go that far, and I appreciate it. But is that a mixture of signing your own and other additions to the roster? Or are you looking at those picks and going, no, we can add a lot of other things to this?
Yeah, I mean, this game's about resource. We're worried about what we do, and you get resources to sign players, and certainly resources.
You go that far, and I appreciate it.
Okay,
is that a mixture of signing your own
and
other additions to the roster? Or are you looking at those picks and going, no, we can add a lot of other things to this?
Yeah, I mean, this game's about resources, and certainly resources come in different packages. You get draft picks, you get players, and you get resources to sign players, and that's the way we look at this. And we wish Micah nothing but the best. He's a Packer. We can't talk about him now, and we're worried about what we do and where our future, where we are today, and where our future is. And I know Kenny Clark did.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of our top performers in the game, and thrilled to have him wearing the star.
Yeah, I like seeing a beast like that in the middle. How much more is there?
So I want you to just focus in on the fact that Jerry Jones said, we can't talk about Micah Parsons. I mean, Stephen Jones. Stephen Jones said, we can't talk about Micah Parsons. Well, why not? Why can't you talk about Micah Parsons? Stephen is saying, we're all about football. We've moved on from Micah Parsons. As much as Micah Parsons keeps talking about the Cowboys aren't talking about Micah Parsons. And it seems like to me that Micah Parsons wants to start some kind of tit for tat with the Cowboys. He wants to go to war with the Cowboys or whatever the case may be. Because the funny thing is to me is that these players, they all have said nothing but respectful things about Micah, even though you might be able to pick up on a couple of things, like when Ty Smith said he got what he wanted. But you can really hear where a lot of people may not realize it, but I am more and more believing Jerry Jones when he said it was unanimous to trade Micah Parsons. I truly believe, and I bet you, Brian, you'll never get Brian Schottenheimer. No one will ever be able to get Brian Schottenheimer to admit to this. But I truly believe that Brian Schottenheimer doesn't think his culture works with Micah Parsons. I don't think he believes his culture works with Micah Parsons. And as much as I believe he liked Micah Parsons, I believe Brian Schottenheimer was more than okay with Micah Parsons being gone. I would not be surprised if he wanted him gone. Because if you're going to build, and I'm just telling you, I don't care who this offends. If you're going to build the best culture in football, I just don't believe Micah Parsons can be a part of it. I don't believe he can be a part of it. If you want to build the best culture in football, Micah Parsons cannot be a part of it. Micah Parsons, and I believe that Brian Schottenheimer realized this. I already know a lot of the players believed it before because James Slater had already reported there were players who wanted him gone in 2023. Front office people wanted him gone in 2023. And for as much as people are criticizing Jerry Jones, I think Jerry Jones is the one who was beating the table for Micah Parsons. James Slater even said it. It was Jerry Jones who was against trading Micah Parsons. But this was not going to be what it is right now with Micah Parsons. It was never going to be that. Never, ever was it going to be that. Because Micah Parsons is one of those players that he comes in and he changes your culture. You literally, if Micah Parsons comes into your locker room, you have to accept what he is. That's what you have to accept. And I believe the Cowboys realized it was never going to be what it needed to be as long as Micah Parsons is here. Sean said, that's funny you say that, G, because was that the time Micah started doing his podcast? Yep. Do y'all remember? If I'm not mistaken, it was Malik Hooker. And we kept seeing stuff leak out about players not being happy with the Micah Parsons podcast. Even Mike McCarthy stepped to him about his podcast because he on there talking loose about Micah. Come on, man. This dude was talking loose even about his own head coach on there. It was subliminal, but nevertheless, it was easy to determine. Micah Parsons. Let me tell you why the media gravitates toward you. We got a different type of media right now. We have a different type of media. The media today is not so much about journalism and facts and things of that nature. This new media, it gravitates towards controversy. It wants the controversy because the moment social media introduced the likes, the dislikes, the loves, the reposts, the shares, the information traveling all over the place, the media loves Micah Parsons because he's a story. Micah Parsons is a story. And that's why they always want to shove a microphone in his face. That's why you got these well-respected people like Ed Water. Ed Water will not leave the Micah Parsons story alone. We might as well get ready. If you follow Ed Water is going to talk about Micah Parsons until it's no longer a story. He gonna beat this dead horse into a carcass. Him, people like Mina Kimes. I like Mina Kimes, but Mina Kimes, every time she watches, I cannot believe that people watch the Green Bay Packers beat the Detroit Lions with Micah Parsons on the bench. Micah Parsons comes in at garbage time. Micah Parsons chases down Jared Goff? You would have thought that Michael Vick came back in his prime when it was the Michael Vick experience, and he chased down Michael Vick. Man, this dude chased down Jared Goff. Jared Goff didn't even know Micah Parsons was back there. Man, if you watch that clip, man, Micah Parsons, Jared Goff was dang near jogging. Jared Goff was dang near jogging. And we are acting like that this man ran down some, we could even go to the modern day NFL. We act like Micah Parsons ran down Jalen Hurts. We act like he ran down Caleb Williams. We act like he ran down Lamar Jackson. Come on, man. The The dude ran down Jared Goff. And then we got people like one of my favorite people, Louis Riddick. He's one of the main people beating the table for Dallas for if he were Micah Parsons, he get out of Dallas. This dude says, in a garbage time play, Louis Riddick said that one play by Micah Parsons expressed all the energy and the fight and everything that this guy's about. Jared Goff? It was garbage time. We killed Dak Prescott for this stuff. But we're acting like this dude literally got the sack of the year. Just look at this play. And you already know Micah Parsons. You already know Micah Parsons wanted the sack extremely bad. Let me cut the sound off here. You already know he wanted the sack extremely bad because he's no longer with Dallas. He wants to prove his worth in garbage time. This is the play right here they're talking about. Look at this. Look at this. Jet! Stop it! Stop this madness! Did anybody see how slow Jared Goff was running? Look at this. Look at this. This dude is jogging. Watch the celebration, though. Wait, hold on. Can anybody see the score? Anybody see the score? Score was 38-3. Final. They were literally already up in this thing. The game was over. And boy, people like, oh, the Cowboys. They ought to regret it because look at that sack on Jared Goff. You know, the thing that's even stranger to me is the back. That's the part that's strange to me. I'm not believing nothing. Oh, hold on. Here's a better picture. But y'all don't worry. It's Cowboys after dark. I'm going somewhere. Hold on. Look at the score. Green Bay was winning long before he came into the game. Let me tell you something. The Detroit Lions got stripped of both of their coordinators, got stripped of their offense coordinator, their defense coordinator. They got stripped of both of their coordinators. And they seem to be a little bit discombobulated. This is the score when Micah Parsons come in. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm y'all a little bit behind me. This is the score. This is the score. 27-6 with 4 minutes to go in the game. 27-6. 4 minutes to go in the game. And they act like this was the heat of the battle. Heat of the battle. Game on the line. Micah Parsons runs down Jared Goff and saves the ball game. Scores 27-6 at the time. Boy, you can't make this up. But that's not the part that's even more egregious. I'm going somewhere with this story. That isn't the part that is the most egregious. Let me give you the most egregious part of what happened. This is the most egregious part of what happened. It is this interview that made me realize this is why Jerry Jones probably wanted him on the team, because I think he reminds Jerry Jones of himself. I really do. I think Micah Parsons reminded Jerry Jones of himself. Loves a lot of attention, loves the media, a walking headline, always going to bring attention to the Dallas Cowboys for the wrong and the right reasons. Jerry Jones loved Micah Parsons. I don't care what anyone says. Jerry loved this stuff, but the franchise said, no, bro, we're tired of it. All of them said, we're tired of it. And I think Jerry at the end finally got to the point and said, I'm tired of it too. But it was this interview that really made me realize why this was such a great move. I don't care if he gets 20 sacks for Green Bay this year. This was an absolute great example of why the Cowboys let this dude go. Watch this. Just listen to this garbage.
It's super relief. I'm telling you, like, this last 6 months was super draining, super toxic for everyone. I mean, it's something that, I don't think no player should have to go through. I think players' fate should be decided earlier. I think the fact that I was traded a week before the season, it was really outrageous and rough.
You know, the funny part is, CeeDee Lamb never said this. Zach Martin never said this. Dak Prescott never said this. Ezekiel Elliott never said this. DeMarcus Lawrence never said this. What made it toxic? Isn't it strange that Dak Prescott didn't make it toxic? Even Zeke going down to Cabo, I guess it was. Zeke didn't make it he didn't make it toxic. It's insane to me that the only person that really made this situation toxic was him, because did y'all notice how everything was going so smooth? Michael was going to do the hold in like Jamar Chase did. Y'all remember when Jamar Chase did the hold in? Nobody cared. Jamar Chase did the hold in, didn't disrupt the team. It just wasn't a whole lot to be said. He held in until he got his money. And he actually played, I think, and then he got his money afterwards. But anybody realize that all hell broke loose when Micah Parsons released the letter saying he wanted to be traded? Micah Parsons don't want to take responsibility for the fact that he was going back and forth with Jerry Jones trying to negotiate a contract. He don't want to talk about any of that stuff. He's just blaming it all on the organization, that he had nothing to do with it. And now he's saying it was toxic for 6 months. Bro, there are people. He is not the first one to go through a contract negotiation that comes down to the last minute. It's not just the Dallas Cowboys that have done this. And I've never heard anybody talk like this. You know the other reason why the Cowboys are glad this dude is gone? Explain this to me. He's in a Green Bay Packer locker room. He's played a game now with the Green Bay Packers. He's been on the Green Bay Packers for more than a week. And you're talking about the Dallas Cowboys? As much as I didn't want to admit this at first, but I'm starting to come around to what Boss Cowboy said. And I'm going to add the other part on of where I am with this. I've always said that Micah Parsons and Jerry Jones, somebody need to check the birth certificate because I think he was Jerry Jones' son. I mean, I'm telling you, these guys are a lot alike. Jerry Jones, Boss Cowboys said that Micah Parsons is going to continue to capitalize on the Dallas Cowboys because he's going to always talk about them. Now, I don't think it's going to work, but we're going to see. I don't think it's going to work because I think that people are going to get tired of hearing him talk about the Dallas Cowboys no matter what. I think eventually that's going to wear on his team. I don't even think his team is going to want to hear this stuff by mid-season. I don't think his team is going to want to hear the Cowboys. And I think definitely next year, none of them are going to want to hear him talking about the Cowboys. I don't think it's going to work. How much can you talk about the Cowboys playing? If you're not playing, you can do it every day. But if you're playing, there is no way his team is going to tolerate and even be cool with him talking about the Dallas Cowboys every Monday. There's just no way. But he's showing his true colors in everything that he's doing. He's showing his true colors. Now, Lucky, I'm glad you said he was asked, because I'm going to give you another answer for that too. But isn't it strange as they're asking the Cowboys about Micah Parsons? Isn't it strange that when everyone is asking, hold on, Lucky, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. You don't have to answer every question that you're asked. And I'm going to tell you about me. If I've moved on to another team and you ask me about the team I moved on from, I'm not answering not one question about that team. I'm not saying anything bad about that team. I'm not answering anything about that team. I'm telling you, I'm with the Green Bay Packers now. I've moved on. Did we not hear Stephen Jones say it? Stephen Jones said we can't talk about Micah Parsons. Isn't it strange that the Cowboy players are saying we've moved on? Not him. He's relishing every time they ask him a question about the Cowboys. He is relishing in bashing the Cowboys.
It's something where I could have been with these guys getting better and better, and we could have had a probably even more dominant start, if that was the decision we were going to make. So I'm just happy that's behind. These guys embrace me. They believe in my talents. They believed in me, and I'm just going to give these guys everything I have because I know what's at stake. I know what they gave up for me to be here, and I'm going to do what it takes for us to win.
It's amazing to me that he's talking about saying stuff. You got to listen to how people talk, man. Stu's talking real slick. He's saying stuff like they appreciate his talents. I wonder why he's saying that. I wonder why he's saying they appreciate his talents. So you're saying that nobody appreciates your talents. See, Michael don't realize something. And this is what some people who don't truly understand the championship dynamic. Bro, we can appreciate your talent. And I believe they appreciated his talent. But I'll tell you this. They didn't appreciate his off the field, and they didn't appreciate his attitude. Some people think that because they're talented, that you have to put up with their garbage. Cowboys were tired of this stuff. And I'm telling us, this Cowboys culture was never going to be the Cowboys culture with Micah Parsons in it. It never was. He loves the spotlight. He loves the spotlight. He is symbolic. He is symbolic of what was the problem over the last 4 years. 53 brands. He's symbolic of that. He's symbolic of the I love the spotlight. He's symbolic of that. The Cowboys, and I'm telling y'all, whether anybody likes it or not, we were never going to win a championship with this man. We were never going to win a championship with him. It's one thing to have Jerry Jones as your owner and GM. It's another thing to have Jerry Jones not only in your locker room, but playing on your team. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way you can play with a Jerry Jones on your team in the locker room. You can't do it. You can't do it. This dude said toxic, and he was the toxic one. And the issue that is so crazy to me, he would not listen to anybody who told him he was toxic. They told him. He didn't want to hear it. But I'm going to let you hear DallasCowboys.com. Appreciate you being on tonight, Lucky. I want you to hear, this is how you answer a question. When somebody starts asking you about your old team, let me show you how you answer a question. And as a matter of fact, I was going to go to Dak Prescott, but that ain't good enough. Even though Dak Prescott's answer was good. I'm going to give you the answer that's the showstopper. And I bet you this. I bet you they won't ask this player. They may ask some other people. But I bet y'all, they won't ask this player right here again about Micah Parsons. How much you bet they're not going to ask him? Look who it is.
Always going to be part of the family, especially in the D-line room. But other than that, like, we should stop bringing up. You know, Micah's gone. Everybody's really tired of that.
Lucky, this is how you answer a question. When they ask you about your former team, check this out.
I mean, I'm just, like, I feel like everybody's really tired of that question. You know, Micah's gone. So, like, I feel like we should stop bringing up his name. You know, he's on Green Bay. You should ask about the Cowboys and worry about what we got in the locker room. You know, Micah's always going to be part of the family, especially in the D-line room. But other than that, like, that's his business. You got to go ask David. You know, that's his agent. I don't have no say. Jerry Jones, you got to ask him. But me, I'm worried about me, you know? So, I mean, I can give you his number. You can call Micah and ask him any questions you need. But me, please don't ask me no questions about that, man. That's him and I'm me.
That's how you answer a question about your old team. That's how you answer a question about your old player. And boy, D's, you not lying. That is Kevin Gates. That's Kevin Gates' doppelganger. There is no doubt about it. This man looks like Kevin Gates. This man is wearing makeup to cover up the tattoos. Man, I'm telling you. That's how you answer a question right there. That's how you answer the question. Sam Williams is proof that Brian Schottenheimer's culture is working. Brian Schottenheimer has changed the culture in Dallas. Brian Schottenheimer, I said this when they first started talking about this. I said Brian Schottenheimer already had his team prepared. Brian Schottenheimer already had his team prepared. This is why I don't think hardly any of them blinked other than Trayvon Diggs and CeeDee Lamb with his soliloquy. No one else shared those sentiments. That's why I appreciate CeeDee Lamb saying from my perspective, from what I see. But when we listen to those players, it don't sound like that's what they were saying. Because Todd Smith said, and I quote, he got what he wanted. He got exactly what Todd Smith said he got what he wanted. I thought that was a powerful statement. I did. C-Base, boy, you ain't lying. C-Base said, I got two phones, one for the plug and one for Micah. Here you go, reporter. Straight up. Yeah, it's Cowboys After Dark, C-Base. We can clown. But for real, this man said I can give you his phone. Paul Sam Williams said, don't you ask me again. Sam Williams said, don't you ask me again about this man. But I want you to hear another couple of interviews. And this is another sign that this culture has changed. Let me show you who the face of this new culture. Let me show you who is the epitome of the face of this new culture. I just want you to examine this man's picture just for a moment. I saw this today and I said, what in the world? Watch this. Look at this. This man has been in the trenches. What the heck happened to his lip? What in the world happened to his eye? This man has been in the trenches. This is a football player right here. And when I say a football player, I'm not saying that Michael's not a football player, but Michael's also wanting to be part-time Stephen A. Smith. See, he want to be a broadcaster right now. He can't wait till his career is over. So he want to be a broadcaster right now, and he also want to be a football player. But this, my Dallas Cowboys brothers and sisters, this is a football player. This is a father. This is a football player. And the only thing he's concerned about is his football, is his family and football. That's all he's worried about. He's not worried about the fame, the fortune. He's not worried about any of this stuff. Lulu, I'm sorry, my brother. I got my mind so focused on where I want to go. No, because again, some of this stuff, when I'm showing it to you, I'm looking at it for the first time without examining some of it. So excuse me on that. But just keep watching. I corrected myself, so it's all good. This dude right here. This is the face of a new culture. Listen to what this guy says. Check this out.
Feeling good. Definitely wanted to win. There's no moral victories in this sport. We trying to do whatever we got to do to get to 1-1.
Miss Matrix, what's going on? C-Base said Kenny Clark is a vicious animal. He's a mauler. He said, I watched every snap of him with NFL Plus. This dude got eye gouged. And Gingerfish hooked him. This tank kept trucking forward. Man, this dude is a beast. We are going to look back, I believe, later and say, this was a pivotal move. Kenny Clark embodies everything the Shotty was looking for. This dude is nothing but a football player. This dude said there are no moral victories. As much as we all can, now we can have those moral victories because we're not playing on the field. But as far as they're concerned, he said there are no moral victories. And then, what does he say? Our goal is to get to 1-1. This team is focused. Brian Schottenheimer has this team focused on the next task at hand, which will be tearing the New York Giants limb from limb.
How'd you kind of feel just like your acclimation came in? Obviously, it was a quick turnaround, 1 week, but how'd you feel you acclimated to a new defense and all that?
Yeah, I only been here a couple days, and for me to learn the playbook and be able to play as fast as I could have, felt pretty good. Still a lot of stuff I got to get better at, and I'm gonna work at that every day.
Strange, isn't it? Micah Parsons says, meanwhile, if we knew this is what we were going to do, well, Michael, you requested a trade in April, bro. I'm thinking, was it August? No, I'm sorry, not April, but August. He requested the trade in August, right? But watch this. He's complaining about if we were going to do this, we could have did it 6 months ago, and we could have been we could have already been even more dominant and blah, 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 as if he doesn't understand the business. Kenny Clark understands the business. Kenny Clark is not complaining about what could have been. Kenny Clark is saying, we're moving forward. Yeah, I got here short amount of time, didn't get the playbook the way I wanted it, but got what I could, gonna keep working at it, gonna get better every day. That's what you want. The glass is either half empty or half full. You're either the solution or the problem. This dude is very interested in being the solution. See, base, powerful, isn't it? This man is a veteran saying, gotta get better at. He's not complaining about the time that he didn't get. He sounds like he's thankful for the fact that he's actually in Dallas. And at this point, nothing else matters. And isn't it strange? you're narrowly hearing Kenny Clark say anything about Green Bay. He's not saying anything hardly. I don't even think I've heard him say anything about Green Bay. The only thing I've heard this man talk about is being in Dallas. That's the only thing I can remember him talking about. He's not bitter or any of those things. Because you want to talk about not being appreciated? Man, Kenny was a baller with Green Bay minus the bunion year last year. Dude gets a bunion on his toe and still played through it. Man, if you've never had one of those, ask somebody about it. This dude is the epitome and the proof that the culture has changed in Dallas. This is what they were looking for. This was not just a move of personnel. This is a move of this dude as a person, and it speaks a lot to him. And as a matter of fact, there was something going around today that they were talking about over on X. And some people said that this was Dan Campbell in retaliation because Micah Parsons was talking about trick plays. But there were people that were actually reporting that some were saying that people were more concerned or that I think Dan Campbell was kind of alluding to, they were happier about Kenny Clark leaving the Green Bay Packers than they were worried about Micah Parsons coming to the Green Bay Packers. Could be some banter going back and forth. But nevertheless, man, Kenny Clark, people in this generational talk is crazy to me because everybody's generational in this generation. Everybody's generational. But I like what Warren Sapp said. Warren Sapp said that you don't start talking generational until somebody wins, until you start talking about Super Bowls. See, Ryan Clark made an argument about generational. And he said that Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, I think, Tom Brady were not generational. Now, I don't know if y'all remember me and my man Poopy D were having a discussion about the 90s Cowboys. And we were talking about Emmitt Smith. People have to understand generational. Some people are not generational in the beginning, but they become generational. You can actually work toward being generational. A lot of people might not believe that, but you can. You can work towards being generational because this is the misconception of so many people. People think generational means talent alone. I don't believe that. This is my own view of generational. Generational to me isn't talent and talent only. Generational begins inside of a person. How hard are you willing to work to be the best? And then as you work to be the best, it begins to infect your team, your teammates, your coaches, and it begins to spill out in your play, and it translates into wins, it translates into playoff wins, it translates into Super Bowls. And what happens is that while you're not a generational talent, you achieve generational things. Tom Brady became generational. Tom Brady became generational. He was never a generational talent. Tom was never a generational talent. But Tom did generational things. See, sometimes you don't have the talent, but you have a generational work ethic and people never knew it. You have a generational work ethic, and then when you get the opportunity because you work so hard, Shannon Sharp said it best. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. Some people don't realize there are people who have gotten opportunities, but they were not prepared for the opportunity. And because they were not prepared for the opportunity, it didn't translate into something great or a great career. You can become generational, and that's the discussion that people don't have. You can become generational by your work ethic. And your talent level may not ever, Tom Brady's talent level could have never reached Dan Marino's talent level. Dan Marino was a born quarterback. Born quarterback. Born. This dude came out the womb. I guarantee you, he came out and there was a football came out with him. This dude was a generational talent. Tell me what he won. Tell me what he won. Generational. Everybody's generational in this doggone thing. Everybody's generational. I think it's become an overrated term. And I'm like Warren Sapp. I don't believe you start talking generational about a player unless we're talking about generational achievements also, such as Super Bowls. Because I don't want to be the Dan Marino generational. I don't want to be Michael Vick generational. I believe Michael Vick was generational. We have seen generational talent, but here becomes the problem. Those people who have that type of talent, it seems, and especially when you start talking about the Vicks, I'm going to throw Micah Parsons in here. When you start talking about the Micah Parsons, when you start talking about the Terrell Owens, when you start talking about the Randy Mosses, when you start talking about those types of generational players, isn't it strange? No Super Bowls. They were generational talents, but they never had generational achievements. They were not the kind of people who had work ethics, and Micah Parsons I think he has a very good work ethic to a degree. I think he has a very good work ethic, but he still has a shortcoming, and it's the stuff that he does off the field. When you look at these generational talents who go out there and they do generational things, have you ever noticed you don't hear about them doing any doggone thing else? Terrell Owens may very well be one of the top 5 wide receivers we ever seen in our life. But do y'all remember what Terrell Owens was doing at the height of his career? He was another one of these media darlings. Always had something to say about his team. Him and Donovan McNabb's bickering is just epic. Anybody remember what T.O. had going at the height of his career? Yeah, a reality TV show. It's one thing to be a generational talent because of talent alone, but it's another thing when you have a work ethic that is so just so determined that while you may not be a generational talent, you do generational things. And I'm going to tell you something about Rain Dakota Prescott. People do not understand how statistically Dak Prescott is wrecking historical statistics. Historical statistics. And that's with missing, what, 2 seasons? Dak has at least missed, what, 2 seasons injured? The equivalent of 2 seasons injured? If you look at him on the passing list, the completion list, the touchdown list, when you start going through historical statistics, you start seeing Dak Prescott quickly edging towards top 10 if he's not already in some of those top 10 categories. Dak Prescott wins a Super Bowl, Hall of Fame. Dak Prescott wins 2 Super Bowls, legendary. Dak Prescott wins 2 Super Bowls, legendary. And there will be people who will look back on this man's career and they'll be asking themselves, based on all of his statistical accomplishments, they'll be asking themselves if he gets a Super Bowl, or especially two, they'll look back on this man's career and they go, was this man generational? I'm just telling us generational is overrated. It's overrated. Generational talent does not equal to generational achievements, and it does not equal to generational, it doesn't equal to generational success. It doesn't. The guys who achieve that type of success to where you start calling them generational and don't even have generational talent, it's because of their work ethic and their determination. It changes an entire franchise. And I don't think Micah Parsons was that. You can argue all day long if you want to. He's a generational talent. But we've seen generational talent. And it just doesn't translate the way people think it does. But Kenny Clark is a man's man. Kenny Clark is a throwback to an old football player. I just want to play football. That's Kenny Clark. I just want to play football. I'm bringing football back to Dallas. I just want to play football. I just want to do what I do, go home to my family, and do it all over again. This dude, look at his face. Man, that's a warrior, man. This dude has been to war, and he's ready to do it again. We are going to look back at Kenny Clark. If Kenny Clark stays healthy, you watch what I tell you. We're going to look back at Kenny Clark this season, and I'm praying the Cowboys extend this dude for 2 or 3 more seasons. Why not have this dude? I don't care if you go get another defensive tackle. Have him too. Go get you another one tech. Trade Mozzie. Mozzie needs I think Mozzie Smith needs a whole new environment. Trade Mozzie Smith, let him go somewhere else, and he can probably be better than he is in Dallas. The expectations won't be the same. Let him go somewhere else. You can go get you another defensive tackle, but if I'm the Cowboys, I'm keeping this guy.
Still a lot of stuff I got to get better at, and I'm gonna work at that every day.
Shotty was talking about there's a duo play where you were kind of able to hold one blocker off with one hand and make a tackle. When you kind of have the quick turnaround like that, does it maybe help you just kind of do football a little bit more? It's like, hey, I just got to go out there and go play in addition to knowing the playbook.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I do. I know how to play, and the main thing is just being able to get lined up, and I'll be able to do the rest. So that was my main focus, being able to learn the blitzes, learn the movements, and all that kind of stuff. And once I get my feet in the ground, I'm good.
You played at AT&T Stadium.
Do y'all hear what this dude is saying? This is why I love Kenny Clark, man. This dude just saying, man, I'm a football player, bro. That's it. I'm a football player. There's nothing else to this. I'm a football player. I come in and I play football. I'm a football player, bro. Quick turnaround don't matter to me. I play football. I play football. That's what I do. I don't know about anything else you're talking about. I play football. Mason said, I'd take a player that want to buy into the culture and the team over a superstar any day. Robert Paul said, Dad got a role in Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Micah Parsons said, Aaron Donald. Let me tell you something about Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald's another one of them dudes. Aaron Donald. Undersized defensive tackle with a worth ethic that is incredible. Aaron Donald has a work ethic that is incredible. And it was only a matter of time before he was going to get one. And especially, with Sean McVay building the team around him and Matthew Stafford. But, man, Aaron Donald got a work ethic that's incredible. This dude work out. I follow him on TikTok. This dude's still doing incredible stuff. Lil D said, hope we can give Green Bay a generational butt whooping. Excuse my French, G. Hey, let me tell you something. Hey, Lil D, you know what I'm tripping on? Everybody keep talking about, yeah, man. When Micah see Dallas. Anybody thought about when Kenny Clark see Green Bay? Has anybody ever thought about what's going to happen when Kenny Clark see Green Bay? See, Kenny Clark is a different type of player. He's not going to be like Micah. See, Micah's like Micah wears his heart on his sleeve. The Bible says only a fool tells his whole heart. Micah Parsons wears his heart on his sleeve. Kenny Clark, one of them dudes, he just kind of like, nah, I'm going to wait until I get there. And I'm going to let all my play do the talking. You're not going to hear Kenny. I guarantee they're going to be talking to Kenny Clark the week of the game. And Kenny Clark, he's not going to be doing any talking. He's not going to be talking revenge and blah, blah, blah. He's not going to be talking none of that. But when he hit that field, boy, he going to be a lion uncaged. He going to be a bear uncaged when he hits that field. And he going to leave it all on the field when we play Green Bay. You watch what I tell you. You watch what I tell you. DJ 1,100 grand. He said it takes a team. Stop making it about a player. It takes the team. See, this is why the Cowboys, I believe, said it wasn't never going to work with Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons got some Jerry Jones in him to a degree. I'm telling you he does. He's got some Jerry Jones in him. Micah is a me guy, and I don't think he can help it. He's a me guy. My man, Derek Posey, what up? Derek Posey, you remember them days? Man, T.O. was in the driveway doing sit. Boy, I remember this like yesterday, man. Boy, I remember this like yesterday, man. This dude, T.O. And I'm telling y'all, bro, T.O. has to be one of the most talented wide receivers I've ever seen before. He's one of the most talented receivers I've ever seen before. And I'm not going to he could have possibly got a Super Bowl when he played with he came off that broke leg or whatever it was. And I truly believe it Donovan McNabb just fed the ball to him. I think they beat Green Bay. I think they would have had a great chance of beating Green Bay. But it goes to show you, man, relationships matter in football. Trust matters. And the one thing you don't want to do is go ticking off the quarterback being a wide receiver. Mason Bartlett said reality TV and the podcast are the same this day. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm telling you. Yes, sir. MJ, the legend game and hard work beats talent. Tom Brady proved it. And a lot of people don't give Patrick Mahomes enough credit. Patrick Mahomes is a hard worker too. And I don't even know if we're talking about Patrick Mahomes if he doesn't go to Andy Reid. Patrick Mahomes is from my neck of the woods, East Texas. But when he was at Texas Tech, nobody was really talking about Patrick Mahomes like they're talking about Patrick Mahomes now. They're all looking back in hindsight, it's 2020 now. They would have all taken him number one overall. Last I checked, I don't remember him winning the Heisman Trophy. I mean, everybody knew he was a gunslinger, but nobody really looked at him the way they're looking at him now. Sometimes, man, you're talented, and you can be immensely talented, but it's your work ethic people don't realize. It's a work ethic that can make you generational. Not to mention, man, Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, perfect storm. Perfect storm. I'm just telling us, man, there are a whole lot of things that go into some things than just talent alone. And that's why, for me, and I think when you look at Kenny Clark, this is exactly what the Cowboys were looking for. They wanted a defensive tackle that fit what they were looking for. Somebody that wanted to be in a great culture. Lost in Translation podcast, my man, what up? He said Kenny Clark is a lunchbox kind of guy. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, sir. MJ, prime example, Kobe Bean Bryant. Yes, sir. Kobe became generational. Work ethic, and I'm telling us, you'll find something out about generational players. They're so talented. Their work ethic isn't that good. Why? Why? Because they're talented. Let me tell you something that's so impressive about Dak Prescott that people don't understand. Dak Prescott had to work to get to where we saw on Thursday night. Dak Prescott has put in hours and hours and hours of work to become a quarterback, a true pocket, in a sense, now quarterback. He can still move around. He can move around the pocket really well. But Dak Prescott has worked so hard to be where he is. Work ethic is everything. It is. Miss Major said, I do believe he's a generational talent. It depends on what your definition is for generation, either based on accomplishments or physical abilities. Now, that's why I'm saying, Miss Matrix, the problem with the people who are typically the physically talented, they wake up out of bed and they're talented. They just don't work. Some of them do. Michael Jordan, anomaly. Anomaly. As talented as LeBron James is, he's a generational talent. But I'm going to tell you this. Talent level wise, LeBron woke up like that. Michael Jordan worked to get like that. There's a difference. There's a difference. That's why LeBron James and Michael Jordan have two different types of mentalities. LeBron James has a mentality of, we're going to listen to the rest of Kenny Clark too. LeBron James' mentality is, I'm bigger, I'm stronger, I'm faster than everybody else. That is a part of what makes him so dominant. Size, speed, strength, longevity. That's a part of what makes him, that's his legend. Jordan is different. Nobody ever gave Michael Jordan the cover of Sports Illustrated in high school saying that Michael Jordan was going to be the king. Even in college, Michael Jordan was good, but nobody thought he was going to be the best player ever in the NBA. Nobody thought that. Everything people don't understand about Michael Jordan, they look at the end result. They look at the 2-3 peats. They look at the shoes. They look at the GOAT status, the mystique. They look at all of that with Michael Jordan. But I was young enough to remember that when Michael Jordan hit the league and those shoes dropped, the red, the white, and the black ones. And I can remember working, trying to scrounge up, putting shoes on layaway, paying $5, doing little things for people, errands, and cleaning up whatever I could do to get those shoes. And one thing that I remember about Michael Jordan, it was the work ethic. He worked to become the GOAT. Nobody crowned him the GOAT. He took it. Michael Jordan took it. Michael Jordan wasn't the biggest, and he wasn't the strongest. He probably one of the fastest. But even the stuff that Michael Jordan began to do in the NBA, nobody in college had a clue that Michael Jordan could literally walk on air. Nobody realized it. It wasn't until Michael Jordan got to the pros and started gliding and skywalking on people, dunking on people. And every single year, whatever they said Michael Jordan couldn't do, he went in the offseason, he worked on it, and he came back. They said he couldn't play defense. He came back. Defensive player of the year, year after year after year. They said he couldn't dribble with his left hand. He came back dribbling with his left hand. Needed to work on his free throws. He came back and became one of the best free throw shooters in the world. And I'm telling you, if Michael Jordan, if the three-point line would have been as big of a deal as it is now, we saw one game where Michael Jordan, I can't remember how many three-pointers he hit, but anything that Michael Jordan wanted to do, he worked at it. That's why Michael Jordan, for me, will always be GOAT status. There is nobody to me greater because, unlike a lot of players, people don't understand. That dude, Michael Jordan, got it out the mud. He got it out the mud. He wasn't like a Shaq. He wasn't like a LeBron James. He wasn't like physically gifted players who just automatically everybody, oh man, shoot, go. Wasn't Michael Jordan. And if you realize a lot of those players that become generational, check the tape, check the history. Those are the types of players that typically help their teams win championships. The teams, the players who are uber talented, you ever notice something about them? Huge egos. Huge egos. That's what you get a lot of times from those kinds of players. Kenny Clark is exactly what the Cowboys needed. I'm not even saying Kenny Clark is going to become generational. But what I am saying is that Kenny Clark fits into a system that the Dallas Cowboys are trying to build. They want to get away from all of these stars, and they want it to be about the star. They don't want it to be about all the cameras and the flash, because the Cowboys already get enough of that. Let me tell y'all something. Boy, you better give Jerry Jones a hand. Jerry Jones has been as quiet as a church mouse again. I'm pretty sure we'll hear him talking this week at some point. But for the most part, Jerry Jones made this trade, had a little press conference. I hadn't really heard from him. Had a little press conference after the game. He's went back radio silent. I'm thinking we'll probably hear from him today at some point. But Jerry has been relatively quiet. They are literally, it seems, trying to let Brian do his thing. And I can absolutely appreciate what they're doing. But I'm telling this man, Kenny, Stu Kenny. Kenny is exactly what the doctor ordered. Miss Major said, hit that like button. I agree. Kenny Clark is exactly what the Cowboys needed. The Cowboys needed to get out of the spotlight. I'm telling us what the thing with Micah Parsons was getting out of hand. It was too much. It was too much. And it was a distraction. It absolutely was. Lil Buzz said Kenny going to lead our defensive tackles to be a great unit. He is. And I'll tell you this, Lil Bud, wait until DeMarion Overshown come back. When DeMarion Overshown come back, this defense, if y'all think this defense look good Thursday, wait till Overshown come back. We're gonna be a different kind of defense. Quarterbacks are not gonna be running around on us no more. When DeMarion Overshown get back, there will not be quarterbacks running on us again. Jalen Hurts, those first downs he picked up, those won't be happening again. DeMarion Overshown is gonna put this defense on steroids. You watch what I tell you. Derek G said, G, not to change the conversation on sports, but you know, guys have to guys to have that work ethic like Kobe, LeBron James, them guys are just so different because of their work ethic. And I will give LeBron credit for his work ethic. Still got a problem with the fact that he's not a good free throw shooter, which leads me to believe he doesn't work hard enough on that. But nevertheless, I don't put him in the category with Kobe. LeBron James in high school was a grown man. LeBron James was a grown man in high school. Bigger, faster, and stronger than everybody. Kobe wasn't that. Jordan wasn't that. Work ethic. Work ethic is what got them there. LeBron James Not saying his work ethic didn't get him there, but LeBron James came out the womb like that. Man, shoot, he came out the womb like that. Came out the womb. And again, even when you think about LeBron James, hey, it took a little bit for LeBron James, some players to get there with him just like everybody else. But look, Jordan is so different. Kobe is so different. LeBron, to me, what makes him so unique is the longevity. But there are rumors out there, but I'm not going to start that tonight. Maybe on another show. But Brandon Gray said, Evans said it best. When I went into the Cards locker room and saw my jersey, I started crying and said I'm on the wrong team. Michael will regret it if he hasn't already. Man, Brandon, I'm going to tell you something. I'll be honest with you. I don't think he's that much vested in the Cowboys. I don't think Micah Parsons is as invested in the Cowboys as Emmitt Smith was. Micah seems to have an axe to grind. I think he's kind of in his feelings. I think he's in his feelings because when Jerry said it was unanimous, Brian Schottenheimer came out and said it was unanimous. People don't understand how powerful that is. It's one thing when Jerry says it. It's another thing when Brian says it. When Brian says that decision was unanimous, that also means that Dak Prescott agreed with it. I think he's a little in his feelings. I do. I think he's a little in his feelings.
Before, what do you anticipate getting ready to go for your first home game here?
Man, I can't wait. I know it's gonna be rocking. It's gonna be a great divisional game, and a game that we definitely need. So I know the crowd is gonna bring it.
That's my next question here. Division game here. You definitely don't want to go 0-2 knowing these are two division games you have to play.
Yeah, man, our goal is to be 1-1. By the end of the week, and we start off 0-1 in the division, and we can't get 2 games behind.
What challenges does Russell Wilson present?
A lot. I mean, he got a great deep ball. If you give him time, he can throw a deep ball. He can scramble out of the pocket. He's very elusive. He can get the ball out quick. He's a vet. He's been doing it for years. I've been playing him for years and got a lot of respect for Russell.
I appreciate you, Kenny. What's going on, Mike McCain, my man? What's up? I appreciate you, Kenny. Unfortunately, Russell ain't none of them things no more. I'm sorry, Kenny. I love you, man, but Russell ain't none of them things no more, bro. Russell's debut was terrible. Terrible. I'm telling you now, man. I don't want to count the chickens before they hatch. I'm sorry, but Russell Wilson is not going to have a chance against the Cowboys. I don't even think Jackson Dart is going to have a chance against the Cowboys. The New York Giants, while their defensive line is insane, their offensive line is in shambles. And Brian Daboll, I'm sorry, the clock is ticking. Saquon Barkley won a Super Bowl. Daniel Jones looked like a first-round draft pick with the Indianapolis Colts. Daboll, you the problem, bro. And Russell Wilson is at the end of that thing, man. He's at the end. He's at the end. Russ. Cowboys, I think it may start out early on, close. The Cowboys should I'm not even going to say easily. The Cowboys should pull away from the New York Giants. I'm sorry, but they should. The New York Giants are in no condition to beat hardly anybody. You're telling me that Jackson Dart's first game is going to be against the Dallas Cowboys? Man, I'm just telling you. I don't know. And I'm telling you this. The Giants better not beat us. The Giants better not beat us. We're going to look at the Giants box score here in a few. But this Giants schedule is ridiculous, guys. And matter of fact, we'll look at it when we talk about the NFC East. This Giants schedule is, for where they are, them boys going to struggle winning a game this season. That's why, Brian, man, this is a big test. A lot of people don't realize it. I said it earlier today on the first live stream. This is a big test for Brian. It's one thing to be able to get your team up for the Philadelphia Eagles because of the kind of game that is, a rivalry game, the only game, Thursday, it's a big deal. But can you get them ready for the Giants? A team whom you should absolutely beat in the ground. Can you get them ready? And will you get them to play like they played the Eagles? It's a big deal. Another big test for Brian. Yeah, Andy Reid was really hard on him. Yeah. Andy really helped mold Mahomes. Yeah, Derek G. My grandpa told me years ago, practice makes perfect. And not just about team practice, working on your craft, individual practice. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you something else too, man. You got to really work in your mind. Every minute you're spending not on your craft is a minute that you're spending on something else. And so I think it's important at certain stages in your career that you give it all to what you have. That, God, that, and family. Mason Bartlett, yes, sir. Ego was a heck of a drug. Daniel Lim up in here late, my right-hand man. What's going on, man? Good to see you up in here. Boy, MJ, the legend gaming. Kobe was versus Allen Iverson. AI would go to the club and party. Kobe went to the gym to work. Boy. And I truly believe, MJ, if you're just talking about talent, Allen Iverson was a generational talent. But I'm telling you, man, when you get these guys who be so talented, the dedication and the work ethic isn't there. It's sad, but it's true. It's rare when you get those guys who have the talent and also the drive to work. And LeBron is one of those guys, I got to give him credit. LeBron puts a lot of work into his body. He needs to put more work in them free throws, but I guess he gave up on that. But LeBron puts a lot of work into his game, a lot of work into his body, and that has led to his legendary lasting ability. Some people saying there's some other stuff too, but I digress. But LeBron does put in work. Very few of those guys is where you see talent meets work ethic and it translates. But if you look at a lot of the people who have done legendary things, go check the tape. They didn't start out like that. Lil Bud, yeah, Dak's come a long way from Mississippi State. Boy, he don't even look the same. I mean, I was looking at Dak the other day and I said, this isn't even the same person that came out of. Dak Prescott is on the same, and don't let me say it like that. Let me say it like this. If you look at Tom Brady's old pictures and you look at Tom Brady's new pictures, you would think the new pictures are the young Tom Brady and the old pictures are the old Tom Brady. If I'm saying that right. The new pictures are would be the young Tom Brady. The old pictures would actually be the old Tom Brady. If you look at Dak Prescott's old pictures look like the old Dak Prescott, and the new pictures look like a young Dak Prescott that don't even look like the old Dak Prescott. Still, Dak been putting in work, man. He been putting in work. But this dude, Kenny, I'm telling this, man, Kenny Clark, man, I'm loving Kenny Clark. Dang Lim said the teams I see becoming sellers are the Browns, Dolphins, Panthers, Giants, Bears, and Seahawks. Okay, what are we selling? Are we talking about like a position, running back, something like that? Hey, 2 Trail for life. Hey, me and you in the same boat. Man, I Mike will always be the GOAT to me, man. That boy Mike was different. C-Bay said because of the movie Space Jam, young Michael Jordan's father made him come inside because it was so late because he's outside shooting hoops, grinding. Yes, sir. Jordan was a beast. Cut from a different cloth. I'm telling us. Yes, sir, Prime. Mamba mentality is what CD needs right now. I'm telling you, that dude is different, man. That dude, them type of dudes are different right there. Kenny Clark, guys, I'm telling us, we're going to be looking back on this guy and we're going to be saying this was a very pivotal move. You think about this. This dude did this on minimal practice and little time with the playbook. Imagine what this dude gonna do later.
Did you bite through your lip?
I got hit in the lip today, yeah. So yeah, helmet practice and crazy.
How was your first time lining up next to Osa in a game, and how do you feel like your guys' chemistry in game?
Man, Osa is beast, man. Just he's elusive, explosive. So to get a chance to play with him, it's been awesome. I know we're gonna wreak havoc together.
And limiting
no doubt
to around 60 yards. I mean, what does that tell you about what you guys can do in the run defense going forward?
I mean, that's the name of the game. I mean, if we can stop guys from running the ball and our offense can keep playing how we playing, we're gonna be able to get up on guys and be able to rush the passer, and late in the games. That's the goal. We gotta keep on stopping the run. Keep getting guys behind the sticks in third and long situations, and just keep playing complementary football.
And where do you feel like you are in your knowledge of the scheme here now that you're getting in?
Every day I'm getting better at it. It's an everyday improvement, and I got a pretty lock on a lot of things. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be some more game plan stuff I'm gonna have to figure out, but I feel comfortable right now.
A small sample size, but how do NFC East games compare to NFC North?
Man, it's football. The stakes is always high when it's a division game. The game we just played, it was definitely a physical game, and I expect nothing less coming in this week.
Over the years, Russell Wilson's kind of been a scrambling quarterback. Facing Jalen Hurts, he was able to get out of the pocket and run on you guys. What do you feel like you can do to
Russell, not Jalen Hurts?
Going forward?
It's all about communication and then discipline in your rush lanes. That's the main thing. I don't think the Eagles really did anything special. At the end of the day, you can't beat yourself doing stuff like that. That's just beating yourself. And we got to be better, in all phases. And it starts with us as a defensive line communicating and being disciplined in our rush lanes.
Do you feel like that's an easy thing to correct?
Most definitely. I wouldn't say it's easy. Everybody got to hold each other accountable to doing it, and it takes every day, us coming in every day and pushing each other to do it every day. But as long as we communicate and we work together, that shouldn't happen.
That dude Kenny Clark is a real one, man. Kenny Clark is a real one. Kenny Clark is one of them dudes you won't fighting beside you. Man, Kenny Clark a real one, man. Boy, MJ, the legend gaming, boy, you killing it tonight. Woo-wee. Vince Carter. Woo! Boy, you want to talk about a generational talent. Oh, my. Could have been the next Jordan, but others worked harder. Man, I've heard the same thing about this dude. Yeah, he could have been, man, he could have been one of them. Could have been one of them. And I even heard other players saying he just was too nice. Didn't have that killer mentality, man. They said he was just too nice. Yep, heard the same thing. Derek G. Yeah, LeBron James, yeah, man, physically gifted. I think he has a very good work ethic. I'll give him that. But just a little bit different. A little bit different when it comes to that killer mentality, but he still gets his flowers too. LeBron James is an extraordinary talent. He's an extraordinary talent, no doubt about it. Prime, I'm going to tell you something. I think they both got in this situation. Jerry and Micah Parsons are a lot alike. They both. Dak Prescott said it best. They got personal. Both of them did. Micah Parsons should never have been negotiating his contract with Jerry Jones. Never, ever should have been doing that. And this is why people keep talking about the NFLPA is coming after Jerry. I bet, and I'm not a gambling man, but if I was, I bet you I'd win everybody's money. The NFLPA is not doing nothing. If they were going to do something, they would have done something. They're not doing nothing. Jerry Jones would straight up expose Micah Parsons and his agent for tampering, going out there, working out a deal with Green Bay. All of this stuff will come to the light. Micah Parsons should have never been talking to Jerry. They both are at fault. And so, but again, honestly, though, it was the best thing. Prime, it was the best thing for us. It's the best thing for Jerry. It's the best thing for Michael for these dudes to split. Yeah, Prime. No necessarily pushback for me about LeBron. I think he has a great work ethic. Still kind of like tripping on them doggone. Still tripping on his free throws. Still don't think he's as good of a defender as he should be. But nevertheless, LeBron James is an extraordinary talent. He is definitely generational. Can't take it away from him. He's generational. But his mentality, totally different than Jordan's. Totally different than Kobe Bryant's. Ding Lim said, I think you have to consider another edge rusher on the cheap. If you don't get Trey Henderson, why not Bradley Chubb or Jalen Phillips from the Dolphins? I don't think the Cowboys are going to. I don't think they're going to start looking outside of the building yet for players. I think the Cowboys are going to treat these first 4 to 5 games as preseason games in a sense that count. A lot of people are talking about running back, Daniel. You can't go to the running back. You can't go looking for a running back until you first see what Jaden Blue is. The Cowboys have got to get Jaden Blue on the field. Edge rusher. James Houston is looking extremely well. Dante Fowler looked a little lost in the first half. Donovan Ezraku, they gotta get him acclimated to that NFL type of speed. Sam Williams, we'll see what Sam Williams materializes into. I think the Cowboys are probably going to wait till after the Green Bay game before they decide on whether or not they're going to start going outside of the building. But I can tell you this, for all the people who thinking the Cowboys are going to try to play around with them first-round draft picks, forget about it. Forget about it. I don't think the Cowboys are going to play around with them first-round draft picks. Forget about it. If I'm the Cowboys, I'm coveting those first-round draft picks. I'm not giving up a first-round draft pick for third and fourth and fifth round players. I'm not doing it. So, but again, I think the Cowboys are going to wait until after the Green Bay game. And I think when they see what they are after the Green Bay game, I think they'll start trying to make their mind up of whether or not what they're going to do, trades, trade deadlines, and all those various things. So I think it's going to come down to that. Poor Two Trill, boy, you ain't lying. That boy Russell Wilson got a lot going on in that personal life, don't he? Boy, G-Life, Russell Wilson fell off when he went to Denver. Boy, yes. That man fell off a cliff, man. Man fell off a cliff. Lil Buzz said, Daniel said that them boys going to whoop up on him. He said the boys going to beat the Giants 34-10. Let me tell you something. It all depends on how ready it all depends on how ready Brian has them boys. Because I can tell you this, he better have them boys ready to play. Because them boys got a pass rush that won't quit. Prime, let me tell you something, Prime. I think Sunday will be George Pickens' day. The Cowboys have got to get this dude, George Pickens, acclimated. They got to get him involved. Because, I've seen the tape I've seen some of the tape on George Pickens on game 1. I'm just telling us. George Pickens was kind of George Pickens was he was kind of lackadaisical on some routes, man. George Pickens was out there making some business decisions, family. I'm just going to tell you the truth. I have no choice but to tell you the truth. George Pickens was making some business decisions out there, and they look a little crazy on tape. And so the Cowboys may be in a situation. We'll see how it turns out. We could be absolutely surprised, and the Cowboys don't extend George Pickens. I mean, we could be surprised. So if the Cowboys are not going to extend him, I say this: they need to get everything out of him they can this season. Even though I do think they're going to extend him, but if you're going to keep him, well, get him involved in the game. What are you doing? Get the dude involved in the game. It is very obvious. He said, he was talking about the thing with CD and George Pickens and talking about we design our plays to go to the playmakers. Well, what is George Pickens? Dude had 7 targets or somewhere in that range? That's crazy work. This needs to be the game that George Pickens has a field day. I'm with you. Prime said, I want to see Pickens slapping fools around like number 60 did last game. Boy, that man been working on boxing for a reason. C-Bay said Kenny can anchor, drop weight, drop hips, get low, and bend under a block. He's got power, strength combined with grown man speed. Yeah, he is what we needed in the defensive tackle. Crazy thing, Mozzie is heavier than Kenny. Yeah, but man, I'm telling you though, I'm telling you, C-Base, there are a lot of people that question whether Mozzie like football. Two Trill, I'm with you. The New York Giants, I'm playing them like they're the best team in the league. If I'm Brian Schottenheimer every single day, I'm talking about how good the Giants are. I'm showing them every good thing the Giants do so I can make sure they understand this team can beat you just like anybody else can on any given Sunday. Daniel Libb said, Mozzie, pack your bags. You're going to get booted out of Dallas. Yeah. Yeah, I have a feeling that Mozzie's going to get traded, man. I do. Yeah, I think he's going to get traded. We the boys said, Russ said in the post game, I played my heart out. Boy. Woo, boy, I hope that wasn't it. Boy, I hope that was not it, boy. Woo, boy. Brother said I needed that. Amen, brother. Yes, sir. Hey, Pride, let me tell you something, though. Man, AI cut from a different cloth. But AI even looks back now and talks about it, Prime. He looks back now on his career and he knows that had he been a worker, he could have literally been one of the best that ever did it. Probably could have got multiple championships. Multiple championships. But that joker could play after coming from the club. Some people can do it. Ask Michael Irvin. Boy. Yeah, Dwayne Wade had very good work ethic too. Yeah. Prime said his game was never faulted. Yeah. AI was a good dude. Marvin Washington said, gee, what's happening? The Giants will be risking Jackson Dart's confidence if they play him against our defense on Sunday. I got a feeling this is why they're not going to play him. I have a feeling this is why they're not going to play him. I don't think they want to risk him getting hurt. They're willing to risk Russell. Boy, they willing to risk Russell, man. They gonna put Russell out there with that make do. They gonna put Russell out there with that make do offensive line. Brandon Green, say it. He said, I feel like Micah used the Cowboys as a status symbol. He won't get the same flash in Green Bay. But Micah has more pressure on him now to win. We will see how it turns out. I still think Dallas chose the team. I do too. Brandon Green. A lot of people don't understand this. Green Bay was winning before he got there. They were winning on Sunday before he even got a sack and got in the game. He's going to have the pressure on him now. What do they do in the playoffs? Got a strange feeling the Cowboys are not only going to see the Green Bay Packers in the regular season, I got a strange feeling the Cowboys may run across the Green Bay Packers in the playoffs too. I think we're going to be seeing Micah Parsons quite often. Probably twice a year for the next 2 to 3 seasons. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. You believe the Dolphins have some pass rushers that we need, and the Jets have a running back we would want. Panthers could sell off Hunter Renfrow. We're going to see. We're going to see if some of these teams are going to be sellers. Some of them may give up on the season. Man, I'm going to tell you right now, the Dolphins are a mess. And now I'm seeing where Tyreek Hill, let me tell you something. Tyreek Hill's ex-wife is about to wreck his life, bro. The Miami Dolphins are about to be a mess. I see why Jalen Ramsey was trying to get out of there. They are about to be a hot mess. They really are. They are about to be an absolute hot mess. I see you, Paul. He said ping pong in the background. Let me see here. Ram Talika, he says, what's a wide receiver needy team that would be interested in Tolbert? Man. Tolbert is in hot water right now. That boy Tolbert is in hot water right now. Yep, he's in hot water. He has not been playing well. Not to mention, I'm going to tell you what I think is going on with Tolbert. And I could be totally wrong. But I think one of the things that's going on with Jalen Tolbert, I think Jalen Tolbert is frustrated that the Cowboys they made him start sharing the third wide receiver reps with Kevontae Turpin. Prime said, I've been enjoying your channel. He says, gets me through while I'm working. Hopefully one day, Prime, your brands can help you out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Azteca said Tolbert and Mozzie for some picks. Man, I'm going to tell you, that ain't even funny. Hey, that's not even funny. Them boys could be on their way out, man. Them boys could be on their way out. I'm going to tell you another one I think the Cowboys are going to get some, that's going to probably get some draft capital for. And I think it's going to be Trayvon Diggs. I don't think the Cowboys are going to extend. I don't think there's any way Trayvon Diggs plays on no more guarantees. He has no more guarantees on his contract. Come next year, the Cowboys can cut him anytime they want to and save money. I don't think it's going to happen. I think the Cowboys can save $13 million cutting Trayvon Diggs. Savon Revel Jr., I still believe is the replacement for him. I still say he's the replacement. You watch what I tell you. Oh, MJ, he from Toronto. Hey, man, they up there. Hey, they doing your boy Drake wrong, man. They doing your boy Drake wrong up out here, man. They putting Drake out in these streets, MJ. Now me, I'm a Drake fan. They putting this man, they doing this man wrong out there in them streets. All right, let's listen to one more interview. And I want to listen to this dude right here. Solomon Thomas. Another great addition to this team. This dude is a pure dog. Pure dog. Let me read. Let me play this, and then we'll read what Daniel M says. Solomon Thomas is a pure dog.
Is it easier to move on because you've been through these things before?
Definitely. You can't dwell on a loss. You don't have time for that. You don't have time to sulk in a loss, and especially week one. It's the first game of the season. We showed some great things. We showed some things we got to get better at, and that's all we can do. We got a game coming up on Sunday. That's all you can focus on is the Giants and getting that win, and that's all our focus is today. Correcting Philly and moving on to the Giants and be the best team we can be.
What do you take from a bunch of new guys together on the interior D-line from game one that you could take into game two?
I was proud of how the guys played. I thought they played hard, played well. Like I'm saying, there's things to improve on, but just game one type stuff. But proud of the physicality, proud of the effort, and just showing what we can do.
Because you guys didn't do much in preseason and that, when you talk about the physicality, how do you know for sure that you guys are going to come out and be a physical football team?
Just the message all camp. That's how we did the camp all year long. Came out, was physical. Everyone in the D-line was. That was our message. That was Coach Wyconn's message. Come out, be as physical as you can be. You have a physical camp to have a physical season. We didn't, even though we didn't play in the preseason games, that's how we practiced. So we knew we were going to come out and be as physical as we could be.
What will this game mean for you to be a home game, Dallas Cowboy back here where you grew up?
It'll be awesome. I mean, I love being from Dallas, love being in Dallas. Just coming back, playing in my hometown, it's just another game to me, but it still means a lot playing for my hometown people, my family, my fiance, all the people that I love. So I'm super excited to be playing at home.
How many ticket requests for this one?
Just right now, just my parents and my fiance so far. So haven't got any crazy things right now, but I know during the season it'll get pretty crazy.
So you cut them off.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep the stress low.
Did you ever get a high ticket account?
Huh?
Did you ever get a high ticket account before?
I've played in Dallas twice before, and because it was only one time, I've only played in Dallas twice in my career, so I would invite a lot of people. But now that I'm playing here, I'm holding my breath.
Do you remember your first game at the stadium, to Capel play there?
Yeah, so it was actually in high school, my freshman year. I was on varsity, played 2 snaps, and then my actually last game in high school was at Dallas Cowboys Stadium 2. We lost to DeSoto in the second round of playoffs.
How cool was that moment, though, to be a high school kid playing there?
It was super cool. You play there with a dream of being able to play there as a pro one day. And, I'm blessed and fortunate enough to be able to do so, and I can't wait to go take advantage of it and play my heart out for my team.
So it kind of brings it full circle a little bit?
Definitely.
Thank you.
I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, this dude Solomon Thomas.
And we are back for another.
This dude Solomon Thomas, boy, he another one of them, man. He another one of them. Yeah, Prime, I'm telling you, man, I really think that George Pickens kind of realizes, man, he's on a contract year. And I think George is kind of, sometimes you get in these contract years, guys, man, let's be honest, guys don't want to get hurt. I showed the play today, Prime. I mean, this dude made a straight up business decision. It was his assignment to block the safety. He looked at the safety and just let the dude run right past him. A lot of people were saying he was running some lackadaisical routes out there too. Mike McCain said, just remember anything can happen because Russell Wilson plays the Dallas Cowboys very well. Whoa, he's 5-2 against them in his career. Well, I got a feeling he's going to be 5-3. Either 5-1. Daniel says he's 5-1. Whatever he is, it's going to be another. I think it's going to be in the loss column. Yeah, I think it's going to be in the loss column for him this week. He's just not the same. When you get to Russell Wilson's stage in your career, you need a little bit more around you. And he just don't have enough around him right now. Not to mention, I still have no clue why Brian Daboll is still a coach. I don't think he's that good of a play caller. Don't think he's that good of a coach. I mean, man, he ice skating uphill if you ask me. And man, let me tell you about these Dallas Cowboys too. Boy, y'all got me rolling talking about Russ. Russ ain't leave none for Sierra. Play this hard out, boy. Y'all. Man, let me tell you something about these Dallas Cowboys we have to remember. And this is why I'm encouraged. And I want to see how Brian can get them ready this week. For as much as we hate them birds, Philadelphia is a very good team. They're a very good team. And there are not a lot of teams that are going to be able to withstand what the Cowboys threw at the Philadelphia Eagles, especially in that second half defensively, and what they threw at them offensively, even in the second half if it wasn't for the drops. There are not a lot of teams that are constructed to take that kind of onslaught. The New York Giants are not constructed to take what the Cowboys are going to put out. I don't think the Chicago Bears are constructed to withstand what the Cowboys are going to be able to put out. I do think the Green Bay Packers are going to be able to. The Green Bay Packers had a good squad before Micah Parsons. They are the type of team that the Cowboys are really going to have to put in some work on, and they're going to have to really. It's going to be a very, very good game. Very, very good game. Both of them have pieces from each other. I still say advantage goes to the Cowboys because I think that Kenny Clark has been a lot more involved in what the Green Bay Packers have done over the years versus Micah Parsons. The Cowboys were kind of implementing a new system, even though he watched it per se, didn't play in it per se. So, but it's going to be a chess game all the way around. The Cowboys haven't beaten the doggone Green Bay Packers in who knows when. And beating them in who knows when. So, Little D Texas said trade Mozzie to South Oakland. He said defensive tackles are gangsters over there. Daniel M. Let me tell you something. I believe it. I believe the Miami Dolphins are going to fire the coach. Tua Tagovailoa will not be extended. And I think after this contract, Tua Tagovailoa, I think he's going to be a backup somewhere. I'm just telling us. Yeah, the Miami Dolphins are about to collapse. It's that bad. And I'm telling you, this dude, Tyreek Hill, his ex-wife is about to wreck his life. She is now reporting 8 different instances of domestic V. And I guarantee you, she's already got him for his money. It won't surprise me next if them doggone pictures start coming out of the woodworks. Boy, they are. Miami is going to be. Lost in translation. Well, you might be right. This is how some people may be feeling. Lost in translation said Jalen Tobin and Mozzie for some Teddy Grahams. Shoot. We got to try to let them prove their worth. I just don't know if we're going to be able to do it. I don't know. Lil Buzz said drop Tolbert off at Whataburger. Man, I'm telling you, I think he may be in his feelings because the Cowboys got Cavante Turpin sharing snaps. He only got 17 snaps this past week. And I can tell you this, when Jonathan Mingo gets healthy, he may even decrease more unless he comes and does something. Prime said, I thought Diggs was shutting them down against the Eagles. Man, Diggs did very well against the Eagles. He did very well against the Eagles. And I'm hoping that Diggs has the season of his career, Prime. I'm hoping he has the season of his career. I really do. Because I just don't think the Cowboys are going to bring him back. So it is important for Trayvon Diggs. Trayvon Diggs needs to stay healthy, play extremely well because it's going to help us win. So that at the end of the season, if the Cowboys decide to cut him or trade him, he's going to be able to go somewhere and get him another contract. But Trayvon Diggs, I thought he played well. I thought he played well this week. And I'm hoping he continues to ramp it up and just continue to play even better. Walter said, what do you think about bringing back a Mark? Man, Cooper. Hey, Walter Johnson, Coop don't want to play no more, man. He don't want to play no more. MJ, a whole different discussion, but let me tell you something. I think Kendrick Lamar was waiting on this moment. I said this when it first happened to my sons, MJ. I think the dumbest thing that Drake ever did was respond. Drake, man, I don't care what anyone say. MJ, I know people like Kendrick Lamar. No rapper has been what Drake has been. Drake's run over the last 10 years or more has been absolutely incredible. Drake a different type. Man, Drake is a different type of rapper, man. I'm going to tell you about me, MJ. And I said this when this whole thing started. Drake was at an untouchable spot. He was at an untouchable spot. The one thing I wouldn't do is if I'm somebody who's at the top of my game, the one thing I'm not going to allow somebody to do is build fame off my name. Man, I don't care if he'd have made 15 diss records. I never would have responded. I never would have responded. Drake responding is what's really set it off. I'm telling you, man, I believe Kendrick Lamar had been waiting on this. I believe he had been waiting on this. A lot of people were jealous of that dude, Drake, man. A lot of people were jealous of this dude. Drake was killing the game. Drake's vital mistake was to respond. I never would have responded. I'm on top. And one thing I'm not going to do is make you famous by mentioning your name. You trying to get famous by mentioning mine. I never would have responded. Man, let me tell you something, man. Daniel Lim said, which cornerback would you use on Neighbors this week? Diggs or Bland? Shoot, boy, Neighbors is pretty good. Neighbors is pretty good. I'll tell you this. I wouldn't necessarily have them traveling with him. I don't know if I'd have him traveling with him. I think both of those guys would be good enough to handle up on him. Now, Kyrie Elam would be the issue. Kyrie Elam is what, would be the issue for me. Can he handle him? But I think either Diggs or Bland, I'd be fine either way. Azteca said, even if we win this weekend, we got to sign some players if Jerry is serious about all in. I'm not sure yet, Azteca. I'm not sure yet the Cowboys have to sign some players. Because the Cowboys did their signing during free agency. They did their signing, of course, their draft, and then, of course, George Pickens. Where would the Cowboys really add talent unless we're nitpicking and talking about the defensive end position or the running back position? But at this point at least, Azteca, I don't think the Cowboys should be adding anybody. Well, okay, you just gave me an exception right here. I'll be honest with you. If I were the Cowboys, and if I could get Wilkins, and I know some people don't like Wilkins, but if I were the Cowboys and I could get Wilkins cheap, I would bring in Wilkins. I would bring in Christian Wilkins. I really would. I really would. What do you have to lose? I'd bring in Christian Wilkins. If he could play, bring him in. Shoot, Derek G said, boy. He said, which one would you rather have, Brian Daboll or Mike McCarthy? Man, I ain't going to eat front. Boy, I take Mike McCarthy twice on Sunday over this man. I would take him twice on Sunday. I would, man. I take him twice on Sunday. That boy Daboll is looking real silly right now. He looking real silly right now, man. Yeah, Robert Paulson. Yeah, he trying to ice skate uphill and it ain't working. It is not working for him. Vikings defense is going to be tough. Well, I'll tell you this, Azteca. We think they're going to be tough based on what? Going up against the Bears? I don't think the Bears are the Cowboys. I think a lot of teams are going to have problems with the Cowboys offense. The Cowboys offense right now is still trying to I think they're still trying to get their legs up on them. I don't think they know exactly what they are yet. Didn't play in the preseason. So now because we didn't play in the preseason, we got to try different defensive combinations and we got to still, okay, we were getting pickings in practice, but we're not getting pickings in the games. So I think it's going to take the Cowboys about 4 games before we really know what they are. But I think by time game 5, the Cowboys should be humming right along. Hoping the Cowboys are 3-1 by game 5. But again, we got to do one game at a time. We're going to be concentrating on the Giants going forward. Yeah, we'll be concentrating on the Giants going forward, then we'll see what we have. Man, I'm telling you, MJ, this boy Drake was on such a level, man, I wouldn't shoot. Man. If I'm Drake, I'm not answering any haters. I'm not answering any haters if I'm Drake. Drake has had so many hits. Drake got a different kind of audience even, man. Man, this dude Drake got the rappers and the ladies. Drake different, man. The dude should have never even got involved in something like this. Brandy, what's going on with you? Yeah, but see, and that's my whole point, MJ. Drake ain't that dude. He ain't that kind of rapper. Don't get me wrong. Drake got some of the dopest bars I've ever heard before. But that's not really... Drake got that crossover appeal. He can rap. The dudes like him. And then he do that little singing or whatever he do. And the ladies love him. I would have never got involved in nothing like that. Dude, just on a different level to me. Ram Talica. I don't think Wilkins is with nobody. I think he's a free agent. I would have just rolled if I was him. I mean, if I'm the Cowboys, it's one of them. To me, it's one of those plays where you really can't lose with George Wilkins. At least to me, you can't. I mean, you can't lose. I mean, if the dude is healthy, why not? He's one of the top tackles in this game. Not even, 2 years ago? If I could get Wilkins in dirt cheap, I'd bring him in. That's all you got to tell him, Lil D. Lil D Texas said, tell Wilkins don't bring that Diddy to the locker room. That's all you got to tell him. I mean, Lil D, it's funny, but it's for real. Just tell him don't bring that, just don't bring that stuff to the locker room. We don't care what you are. Just don't bring it to the locker room. Just don't bring him in. Jackson C-Bay says, Shotty said we'll have a game plan for both Jackson Dart since Giants are putting together a package for him, and we will be ready for Russ. Either one. I like that response. Well, in the same, you think about, though, Jackson Dart and Russell Wilson, if they're both mobile quarterbacks, do you really have to get ready for them like that? Not to mention we got Joe Milton working our scout team. We'll be ready to go. I do think the change they need to make in this game, the Cowboys tried to go up against the Giants just rushing 4, kind of playing them like that, kind of playing them that straight up type of cover 2 style of defense where everybody's doing the drop 4. I mean, the drop 7 and rush 4. No, they need to use Maurice Leofau and let this dude be a doggone spy. Let him be a spy. Seriously, let him be a spy, man. Because we don't need another one of these things that we just had with Jalen Hurts. This dude, Jalen Hurts, it was a shame how many first downs he got on us. Mike McCain, now I do agree with you on your first statement right off the top. He said, I don't think Wilkins is going to be a Dallas Cowboy because I don't think Jerry Jones is in the position where he wants to touch his agent, David Mulugeta. I was thinking that too. Yeah. I think Jerry wants to have as little dealing with David Mulugeta as he can. I think so too. This is why I've already conditioned my mind that hey, I think the Cowboys are going to extend George Pickens, but I guess I can't be surprised if they don't. Okay, let's listen to this thing over on 105.3 The Fan. I want to hear what they were saying. Man, let me tell you something. Bobby Belts, I think they call it like under the belt. I don't know what let me see. What do they call this thing? I didn't realize how a lot of the fan base was not very fond of a lot of the fan base is not very fond of Bobby Belt. I didn't know this. Okay, it's called Below the Belt. I thought the fan base really liked Bobby Belt because I like, I've liked some stuff that Bobby Belt said in the past. I hadn't listened to him as much here of late, but I was not aware of how some of the fan base was not a big fan of Bobby Belt. But here's Bobby Belt recapping the Cowboys opener against Philly and who stood out. Let's see if we agree.
Great Bobby Belt.
Bobby Belt is an idiot.
Don't make me take off my belt.
Don't make me take off my belt.
We're not.
Over to you, Bobby.
Sanders stays at running back. Receiver Tolbert in motion to the right. And Prescott gave it to Sanders and the ball came out. It's picked up by the Eagles. And Quinyon Mitchell recovered it at the 25-yard line.
Star up Dak Prescott for the defensive play of the evening. I swear, when that ball was fumbled and it was picked up, and I don't know if I processed quickly enough that's Dak standing there, but I saw there's one person standing there, and if that person does not stop them, this is a touchdown because it was just clean sailing the other way for 90 yards.
Yes.
And they ultimately get it. Let's talk about some star up, star down here as the Cowboys drop the opener 24-20 against the Philadelphia Eagles. This is Below the Belt, which is sponsored by D&M Leasing and Window Nation. Before we get into the specifics of our star ups and star downs, I heard last night we were riding over to the charter site, and I was listening to Broadus on the postgame show, and he kept coming back to like, you were better than them for most of the night. Like you should have won this game. Do you come away from this game saying this was a missed opportunity, or do you come away from it saying, no, you blew it, you should have won?
More missed opportunity. I disagree with those who were saying, I heard Maggie and Perloff before our show say that, oh, how did the Cowboys not win this? Or their producer was going off on a rant about the Cowboys always choking. No, I do not. Look, even if CD makes the catches, you're not inside the 10. You still have to score a touchdown. It was a even heavyweight fight for the most part in the first half. I felt like the Eagles were going to be able to sustain what they were doing more so than the Cowboys because I had some more faith in the Eagles defense than the Cowboys defense. But after Dallas got like that third straight stop in the second half, which I did not think was possible, there was your opportunity. But they should have won the game? No, I do not go along with that. I don't think that this was a game that the Cowboys gave away or definitely should have won. They had an opportunity to win it.
They had a lot of they had a lot of opportunities to win. Yeah, I can't say should have because any number of things could have happened. It's just like you go back to the Dez catch game. Like, yeah, let's say they gave it to them. The Packers still had 4 minutes. Like you can't even say that cost them the game. We don't know. And the same thing here. Like even if
it sucks, you didn't beat them with their best offensive player not playing, and the reason you lost was CeeDee Lamb dropping multiple passes.
Yeah, and they lost.
That stings.
They lost.
Let's not forget, Jake Ferguson dropped a touchdown in the end zone, and the very next play, if I'm not mistaken, the very next play was the Miles Sanders fumble. If Jake Ferguson catches that touchdown, we're not even having a CeeDee Lamb discussion.
Offensive lineman, too, right?
Landon Dickerson.
And that's a big loss for them, right? That's a big loss. So those are two in the trenches guys that you lose, and you weren't able to take advantage of it. It's disappointing. It's a missed.
Mason Barlett. Mason, you said below the belt is a wild
opportunity.
Yeah.
But I don't think I don't know. I can't say they should have won because we don't know how the game would have gone. Even if they scored even if they take a lead 27-24 with 5 minutes to go, there's who knows what happens there.
Is this
Do you agree?
Yeah, I don't know that they should have won. The best argument for the case that says they should have won is you went 3 straight passes in the second quarter when you got into the red zone again, and then you had to kick an Aubrey field goal. That could have been a touchdown. The Sanders fumble, that probably should have been points, and then the CD drop should have been points. So when you start tallying up what points did Philly leave on the board, Philly didn't leave points on the board. Dallas left a few different points on the board. And so
they did.
When you start looking at it from that perspective, you can make a case. But I think ultimately it's just a missed opportunity. Now, I'm going to have you go back in time a little bit. So you're going to have to remember the context of how you felt about it at the time. Do you feel better coming out of this loss, or did you feel better coming out of the opening night loss to the Buccaneers a few years ago that was considered the moral victory loss, where they lost 31-29 to the defending champs?
I don't remember it. That was
Dang Lim, I don't think Perrion Winfrey played this game and Mozzie didn't play. I don't think Mozzie's going to play this game either. Nope. I wouldn't be surprised he don't play this game either. They did just fine without him.
Dak balled out, right?
He balled out. That was him coming off of the lat injury where he threw 42 passes, and that was coming off the 6 and 10 year McCarthy's first year. Dak coming off of the leg injury, and then they pushed Tampa Bay to the brink.
I probably feel better about this because I'm more worried about the Cowboys defense. So I'm more encouraged that things got settled or fixed in the second half. But I felt great about Dak after that game.
Yeah, I don't really remember. The one thing that would sway me towards feeling better against that one is that you were playing. I mean, a Brady-led team is just different, and they're just
especially when he's playing Peyton.
Well, not in the playoffs. Not in the playoffs. But it's Philadelphia.
Old man Brady though.
It was old man Brady,
at
but
the time we're thinking.
At the time we're thinking. Because that
was that after their title.
No,
or
it was the year after they beat Mahomes. That was their first night back. It was like same situation as Philly. It was opening night game. Dak coming off of an injury and against the Super Bowl champs.
I retract.
But it all matters on whether you think like Philly was on the same level as that team. Like I think that Tampa team was much better.
I come away from this one a little more encouraged than the Tampa Bay game, because at the time, things had left off with Dak. The first 5 weeks of the season, you were like, oh my gosh, he's playing out of his mind. He's throwing for 500 yards every week. And then he got hurt, and it's like, well, this team's going to spiral. So, you knew they had talented players. They still had Amari Cooper. They had their strong receiving core. They still had the running game that was building. So, you knew Dallas was talented. It was just a matter of, how healthy does Dak look when he comes back? Everybody thought this was a bad Dallas team, heading into this. And they still may be a bad team, but, coming into this, I think they've just blown away expected. Yeah, or we heard from Nick Eatman. I felt this way, 500 that then became maybe a little below 500 after we saw them.
8, 9.
And that's I think that could be an indictment on Philly. That could be Dallas playing emotional for Brian Schottenheimer, doing whatever else. But I came away from this one more impressed with them in this than I did in that Tampa game. Some of the star up, star down. I'm going to mention a couple people that we have not talked about yet.
Star up, star down brought to you by Wild Fork.
Star up, Osa Odigizua played well. I thought that Osa was good.
See him showing off them guns, walking in the pregame outfit. My goodness.
He's a tank, dude. He is a unit. But I thought Osa was I thought Osa was really good in this one. And I think when when I watch the tape back over the weekend, I think I'm going to see that Osa, Marshawn Nealand, maybe some Solomon Thomas. Those are going to be the guys that I'm pretty impressed with.
Nealand ball.
Star down.
Thomas too.
And I understand rookie, everything else. Donovan Ezeraku's we got to show, especially when Brian Schottenheimer's telling, I think it was on our pregame, Brad Sham, he was telling Brad Sham that he thinks Ezeraku, he used the term star. Like that, I think Donovan Ezeraku is going to be a star in this league.
I do too.
And he's an advanced pass rusher. He's supposed to have pass rush moves that can come in here and make a difference. And when you're rushing doing these 4-man rushes, and you're in there as the Micah role, you're the most similar, size profile, athlete, like tools package, all those different things. You're the most similar one to Micah that they had. You've got to step up and perform in a big way, especially after the training camp where everybody was raving about you.
Yeah. Right now he's looking like a training camp star. And
see, this is what we have to keep reminding ourselves of, though. You're talking about Donovan Ezeraku going up against the Philadelphia Eagles. Probably have a top 5 offensive line. Top 5 offensive line. And there were some calls on Donovan Ezeraku that were absolutely not called. Holding calls that were absolutely not called. I think people are wanting Micah Parsons immediately from Donovan Ezeraku. Just wait. Donovan Ezeraku gonna do his thing. Philadelphia is a very good team,
and it has not been maintained since.
Yeah, and that to me is just the most frustrating aspect of this, because I had said I looked at, even with Micah here, I thought Ezeraku 6 sacks as a rookie minimum, because I think he's just in situational pass rushing instances.
Bobby Bell, it's the first game. My gosh, man. This dude said he's expecting 6 sacks. Okay, dude, it's the first game. What are we talking about?
He's going to be able to use that toolbox to his advantage and be able to show that he's an advanced rusher. He's clearly getting checked a little bit by some offensive linemen in these preseason games and then into the regular season already, and that's caused some issues here. Another one, and
I disagree. I think when you look at Donovan Ezeraku, as a matter of fact, I got some. I'll pull some up here in a minute.
Made reference to it. I got to give this star down to overall played well. Kyer Elam giving up that long 3rd down catch on 51 yards down the field to Dotson. That turned into points. That was in a game where it was kind of ping pong back and forth.
6.
That felt like
before the half,
just devastating.
Yeah, I was just begging for 1/3.
Was not Kyer Elam's fault. Kyer Elam had very good coverage on that. It looked like to me they found a way, and I'm about to go back and look at that play. They found a way to catch Kyer Elam 1-on-1, and they got him. I think they basically got him. I mean, the post route, for anybody who's ever played this game, man, I'm just telling you, doggone post routes are hard to cover, man. I'm just telling you, post routes are hard to cover 1-on-1. Once that guy starts running for the goal post, man, your recovery speed better be insane. Better be insane. Let's see. Let me pull up something here real quick. Let me let him finish. Let me pull up something.
3rd down stop.
And Dotson, of all, like, this wasn't, you got beat by Smith. This wasn't A.J. Brown. You let Jahan Dotson, who has been a bust to this point of his career, get you deep down the field. That was a tough one to swallow.
And they end up going 8 plays, 81 yards in a minute 43, and take the lead before the half with 51 seconds left. That was a gut punch.
Yeah,
Saquon, that was his touchdown. But the Cowboys, to their credit, had an awesome response with a field goal. Hit a 53-yarder before the half. But
44 seconds to go.
But they got a touchdown.
And I was, wondering how they were going to play this. And I was thinking to myself, we are not far removed from an era that even if you had 3 timeouts and 44 seconds left at your own 15, you're taking a knee.
Yeah.
We are not far removed from that. Thank God. Thank God that awful era of football is gone.
My favorite moment in terms of decision making, trust between coach, quarterback, everything else that happened in this game was on that 2-minute drill at the end of the half, which was they use up the second timeout. There's 15 seconds left, 14 seconds left, something like that. And at that stage, I think it was like a 65-yarder for Aubrey. And so when
McCarthy would have kicked that.
He would have kicked it.
He would have kneeled and then kicked.
And Schottenheimer, you saw Dak on the broadcast, like, putting his hands up and say, like, I got it. Like letting Schottenheimer know, like, I got it. We're good. We'll be fine. McCarthy would have called a draw play probably with no timeouts and 15 seconds left. But
hey, McCarthy was loving the Cowboys yesterday on McAfee. He goes, you better take the Cowboys in the points. He was absolutely right about that. And he was raving about the Cowboys moving forward.
So Dak drops back. I think it was to Pickens. It was Pickens or Lamb, but I think he threw to Pickens there, where it was drop back, get the ball out, complete it. Everybody got up to the line of scrimmage quickly. Everybody got set. They let the ref touch the ball. That was a big thing too. And then they spiked the ball with that 3 seconds left, put Aubrey in a position to get those 3 points. You had tweeted it at the time I saw it, where it was like, this is a good early test for Brian Schottenheimer clock management and how he responds to that. I thought Dak, Schottenheimer working together on that, handled it pretty flawlessly. It made me feel comfortable about if they get in a similar situation, the 2-minute, that they might be in a good position to do that.
I've got a couple of star ups, if I may. One, big Eagle fans. I did not hear a single misspelling of EAGLES the entire time.
Yeah, but I thought their PA guy messed up some grammar during that interesting pregame show with an anthem that NBC didn't realize. I don't think they were broadcasting. People killing Boys the Men for their national anthem, and then their PA person, I thought, messed up the English language.
See, and I was going to say star up for having Boys to Men out there.
Well, for having them.
Yeah, I'm not results oriented. See, I'm a process guy. I don't care about results. The process of getting Boys to Men there is the right process. That was the right move. You would do that again.
That banner ceremony before the game, I will say, aesthetics-wise, it was kind of cool.
Look, the green lights. I didn't know you could do green lights. That was kind of cool.
That, like the Cowboys having to trot out onto the field in this like green glow and this roaring crowd.
I'm not saying this to be a homer. I'm really not. You can't take yourself seriously with that stupid Eagle chant cheer. You can't.
The song or just the chant?
The song.
Yeah, Sarah said, what are they playing? I said, this sounds like 100 years old. It's corny. That was back, like, they made it back when, they
bad.
had, Prohibition.
So terrible. Star Up, Star Down, brought to you by Wild Pork.
All right, so let me show you a couple of things here on Donovan Azaraku. And I'm telling you, these guys, you're seeing this stuff all over about Donovan Azaraku, and people are not telling the truth on Donovan Azaraku. Let me show you what happened with Donovan Azaraku. All right, we're going to leave the sound down on this particular video. All right, hold on a second. I want to do something a little different. Let me see how I can pull this off. Let's pull this down. All right, so let's look at this right here. Let's go back. Show you a little bit about this stuff that was going on with Donovan Azaraku. People are trying to tell the story like Donovan Azaraku is just trash out here. No, Donovan Azaraku isn't trash. Matter of fact, he's not rushing from the left side like Micah Parsons normally did. He's rushing from the right side. He's rushing from the right side of the defense. And so I want you to see some of the things that's happening to Donovan Azaraku. So in this play right here, Donovan Azaraku right here on the edge, he's playing this pretty good. He's able to shed that block. Still gets in on the tackle with Saquon Barkley. Here he is again. Falls down. Now, the problem on that play was, if I'm not mistaken, this is Sam Williams, if I'm not mistaken. Sam Williams is actually to Jalen Hurts' right. Donovan Ezraku falls down. Now, let's be real here. Micah Parsons struggled with bigger defensive tackles too. Absolutely did. But Donovan Ezraku falls down. Philly's got a great offensive line. I'm sorry, they do. Falls down, gets up. Now, the issue is Sam Williams is right here. Sam is the one who loses containment on this. Sam takes an inside move. Sam, if I'm not mistaken, it's number 54. Sam is outside. Now watch him. Sam goes in. Well, Jalen Hurts goes out. It's over. It's over. Donovan Ezraku has fell down. Donovan Ezraku gets up. He's going to try to get over there. He's not going to make it. That run wasn't even to his side. Here he is again. He's actually lining up the opposite side of Micah Parsons. Yeah, he is. Lining up on the opposite side of what Michael used to line up. You're going to see, though, as he's going to come out here, double team and a double team. Watch it. See? This is the play. But hold on. He gets around, tries to spin inside. Now watch this. This is the play. Watch this again. Straight up hold on Donovan Ezraku. Watch it. Spin move. Look, that's a hold. This is a flat out hold. This is what's happening to Donovan Ezraku. Look. Referee right there. That's a hold. That is an absolute hold. And so by that time, what do we want? What do we want Donovan Ezraku to do? What do we want him to do? That's the flat out hold. Next play. He gets in on the play, but it was a run play, of course. Let's look at that again. It's a run play. He gets in on the tackle. Here he is again, lined up outside. Spins in and boom. Look at that. They caught him. What do you do right there? Caught him. Gets up. Tries to get back involved in the play. And boy, let me tell you something. They put a haymaker on him too. Man, check it. They put a haymaker on him. Watch this. This time he does line, he rushes from the side of Micah Parsons. And quick throw out. Nothing he could do right there. Again, getting involved in the run. Here he comes again. He gets there almost. Yeah, it was good. That's great. That's a good rush. Almost got there. There he is again. Man, keep in mind, man, these doggone Philadelphia Eagles got a very good offensive line, man. These dudes ain't no slouch. So, Bobby Belt and these guys, I'm not agreeing with them. Man, you got to be a little bit careful trying to judge these dudes based on this game. You know, just judging Donovan Ezraku on one game? Jeez. Man, one game? We're not even going to give him this dude, Bobby Belt, went from saying that he expected him to get 6 sacks to now he's disappointed. Bro, it's game 1. The dude got 16 more games to go to get 16 sacks, man. That's crazy work. When Scott said, yeah, below the belt, ouch. Boy, this dude is crazy talking about this man, boy. I'm like, man, come on, man. You got to get this dude. You got to get this dude a little bit of slack, man. You got to get this dude a little bit of slack. I mean, your first game coming out against the Philadelphia Eagles, boy, that's a tall task. C-Bay said Murray and Sanborn are not good either. Maurice and Overshown are better. This is just temporary. We may actually get a chance to see some more Maurice Leofau. Let's see. Let's see what happens this week. Yeah, I'm sorry. Let's see what happens this week as it pertains to Maurice Leofau. The Cowboys may come out and let him get some more. May come out and let him get some more reps. I think he's one of the faster linebackers that the Cowboys have. Yeah, Maurice Leofau, 6 snaps. It's not going to do for this dude. It is just not going to do. So I do think he's going to get some more snaps this week. Lamar Jones said Miles Sanders would have been cut. He has a history of fumble issues. What's going on with Blue? Man, somebody got to tell me they talking about inconsistencies and all this stuff. So I definitely like to see what they're talking about with these inconsistencies. Murray said, Lil Buzz said Murray and Sanborn coaches picks because they have familiarity with the scheme. Yeah, I think there's some truth to that. Rolando Guardo says Chiefs need to beat the Eagles. Is that their next game? Okay, hold on. Let me see something. Let me pull that up. We're going to look at the NFC East here in just a moment. Yeah, I want to look at the NFC East. Just a moment. Derek G, I think Kenny Clark can help us win a Super Bowl right now. Right now. I think if they can continue to stop teams from running the ball, not every team has Jalen Hurts. Not every team can do some of the things that Jalen Hurts did. They're going to be good. Yeah, Brady, that's why I was saying, these dudes like throwing Donovan Ezaraku away. I'm like, come on, man. You got to watch them plays that he's doing. Yeah, Daniel said Bobby Pelt thinks he's an insider. Quinn Scott says Skip Bayless 2.0. Man, oof. Yeah, Green Bay looks solid, though, before Michael gets there. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with them. I'm still not sold on Jordan Love. I think the Cowboys can handle up on him. I think the Green Bay Packers problem for anybody is going to be the fact that they can run the ball. And they already had a pretty good defensive line before Micah Parsons got there. I mean, y'all remember they did it to us in 2023. They rushed 4 and dropped 7 and gave us nightmares. Absolute nightmares. All right, let's listen to another article for 105.3 The Fan, and then I want to look at the NFC East power rankings. 105.3 The Fan talking about the Cowboys, Brian Schottenheimer's debut. I actually thought Brian Schottenheimer's debut was excellent. I really do. I think he had the Cowboys definitely ready to play. Everybody, the coaches, the players, everybody seemed prepared. The moment didn't seem too big for them. They battled back all night long. I mean, I was very impressed by everything the Cowboys did on Thursday other than drop passes and fumble. I mean, it was a great game for them, I thought, overall.
Your guys, but I'll tell you my frustration with the way the game ended last night. As frustrating as the interceptions or the fumble and the drop passes were. What do you do when the defense wants you to throw a 50-50 ball down the field and you only need 3 yards? And if you hit the 50-50 ball, best case scenario is that you score with like a minute and a half remaining on the clock. I don't know if Dak can check out of that play. I don't know if you should just not throw it. But that reminded me of Tony Romo to Des Bryant in 2014 against the Packers. Like, what is the big plan here? That comes down to game and clock management. So we need 3 yards. I get sending the guy down the field, right? Let's clear things out. Let's threaten them with that. But they're putting it one-on-one. And Collinsworth even said, we're going to get a one-on-one ball here. CD's probably going to get left alone. And it happened. It played out in the next 5 seconds. And I'm thinking, man, that's what the Packers want you to do, because they're thinking probably you're not going to get it.
You mean
we're
the
throwing
Eagles?
it way down the field. This is less than 50% once you're 35, 40 yards down the field. If they do get it, that, we're not done. We have life. What can kill us right now is if they use all 2 minutes and 45 seconds or 2 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock, whatever it was, to get a touchdown, 1 first down at a time. That's worst case scenario. So I don't think I'd bang a timeout there, but if I'm Schotty and we're coming up to the line of scrimmage, I'm like, okay, 4th and 3. If they give us this, we ain't taking it. We're not throwing the ball down the field. Do you guys think that's a crazy idea?
I don't think it's crazy. I had a similar thought that you did there, and
when the ball's in the air, I'm like, this is
they're
Des
really
all
going,
over again.
Yeah.
They're begging you to take this because it gives them outs. To start with, better than coin flip chance you don't complete it and get a first down.
Yeah, it's interesting, and I do think Dak has the authority. I mean, you saw him all night long checking out of plays and moving guys around and switching things up, so I would think Dak absolutely has that authority, and I guess they just always love the idea, if you're going to give me one-on-one with a guy like CeeDee Lamb, I'm going to go for that. I think that's just something that they feel super confident in, but I'm with you that at that point in the game, you need the 3 yards, just get it and eat more clock on your way to going for the score.
And he was under pressure again, so I don't know if once the play is in motion, if he had any other choices. I guess you could float it and hope Turpin clears. Looked like Ferguson was coming behind him. If maybe he'd stepped up in the pocket and looked to the other side, he would have saw Ferguson coming over the middle of the field as well for the first down.
Well, they needed Turpin initially. Like my thought watching it before I went back and saw the all-22 was just go underneath to Turpin. And if he sits down,
Turpin wasn't open.
And he's going to get that. Instead, Turpin kept going.
Yeah, Turpin wasn't open.
I don't think Dak really had any intention of going to anybody but CD on the play. And in fairness to him, like CD was open. It should have been they should have hit it. It could have been a touchdown possibly if he doesn't overthrow it by a yard to where CD's now got.
You split the difference on that throw and Ferguson's throw. Ferguson's a little bit longer. CD's a little bit shorter, and it is
the Ferguson one. I mean, maybe if
off
he had
the
a little
helmet.
bit more
Yeah,
time.
not the drop.
Absolutely
off the helmet.
agree, 100%. Yeah, if he underthrew that one and then he overshot that one with CD. So, like I thought going underneath to Turpin was the play. Going back and watching it on the all-22, the way Turpin just kept running it, there's a linebacker right there.
Yeah,
and I could understand that scaring off Dak.
What happened on the play, though, too, is they're going to try and rub it. I mean, they're going to try and pick it.
Yeah.
And really, DeJean does a really nice job of fighting through. It's really not – it's not this violent pick that we've seen, down the goal line where guys turn and then all of a sudden – there's a collision and then the guy's open. Really, you didn't get much help from Pickens on that because DeJean was able to fight and work around it, and then he was able to grab Lamb and slow him up from getting to the ball.
Yeah.
So if it's clean, maybe Lamb doesn't even have to dive, but he has to dive because he gets held up. Pickens really didn't help him much coming off the line to kind of get that pick.
This is where people have been talking about George Pickens. This is where people have been talking about George Pickens. A lot of people are saying that some of these things happened because George Pickens was not running his routes hard. This is what people are saying.
He could have slowed up and made a collision right there with DeJean and then got Lamb up the field, and it might have been clean. The thing with Turpin, and I thought the same thing initially coming across.
Yeah.
They bring Bond. He comes on the blitz.
Yeah.
They fake. Campbell fakes like he's coming on the blitz, and he drops. So what happens is
Turpin
he's at
wasn't
like
open.
The A-gap depth, and he attacks and then backs up, and that's right into
that where Turpin was right
where Turpin.
Yeah.
Turpin,
now Turpin sat down.
Yeah.
Then he'd have been okay, but he didn't do that.
Turpin sees it clear, and he's going to go all the way across. But in reality, he gets fooled by the linebacker Campbell dropping back.
Yeah.
So his looks muddy, but it looked like to me the way Steele gets beat right off the jump, too, at right tackle.
I thought on that play, going back and watching it, Dak made the play that he needed to make. I thought CD was open, and if he doesn't get held up, and if the ball's just a yard shorter,
the mesh
that's connected, and who knows what happens after that.
Yeah, the mesh of where they're running the pick it's almost like the guys were on this. You got Lamb, who's a little bit back, and then all of a sudden you get a situation where Pickens he's got a situation where he's got to make sure he gets that guy taken care of. Because that's the whole idea. They're trying to rub that thing to throw DeJean off. He doesn't get thrown off.
Okay.
I mean, that's a problem.
Up next here on the C-Note, Cowboys News of the Evening, Patrick Walker has given us standout performers from week one. Dak, the first one, no doubt. A really good game, maybe one of his best ever. Javonte Williams, running back one. Marshawn Nealon, we've already talked about him. Brada said probably your best edge player. Then we get to offensive line, Tyler Guyton and Tyler Booker. Guyton gave up, I think he was credited for 5 pressures against him. That's not good. What do you think overall? Did you get a chance to zero in on the rookie Booker or the left tackle Guyton?
Yeah, I think where Booker has problems, it's always going to be if somebody tries to move him. If it turns the stunts.
Yeah.
And that was a problem. That was a problem in training camp when there were stunts going on. He's just not accustomed to seeing. I know it's Alabama and big time football and all that. But the NFL, you get a lot more of those twist games up front. Yeah. And where he's had problems is that he gets a little bit overextended, and then those guys are able to get around him. I think that there was times I thought your worst, or I shouldn't say the worst, but the lineman that played the poorest was Steele.
I agree.
Yeah,
so
brutal.
Steele was the poorest, and then all of a sudden now you start to say, okay, where are the others? I thought Guyton was pretty good,
especially the first half.
Absolutely.
I think he gave up the most pressures, though.
But the thing about with Guyton, and I say this, and you're not wrong, but I think with Guyton's situation of not playing any at training camp, basically,
yeah,
he's out there kind of trying to get a feel for how he needs to.
It's a great point.
How he needs to play.
Definitely.
And I'm not saying he was the best. Because, like I said earlier, Smith had a key missed block in the game that probably changed the game for you.
Yeah.
So it happened. But overall, the offensive line, they had to. Philadelphia wants to rush 4. They had to bring more people.
Yep.
They had to. And Dallas, I thought, did a pretty good job of holding up front.
Better than last year, I think, for Guyton. It was a hell of a left haymaker that he threw there in the first quarter. I forget who caught that, but, man, that looked like 1950s football. And he definitely did not skip eating while he was out. Like, Guyton's big now. He is not a lean basketball player playing tackle. He now looks like the other offensive lineman.
He looked really good for somebody that hadn't played very much.
I agree.
I mean, he looked like – I was expecting his like all of his techniques and stuff to just be way, way, way off, and they weren't.
Warren Sharp noted last night the Cowboys played zone 100% of Jalen Hurts dropbacks. Only one other team played 100% zone in a game last year.
Buffalo?
Logic for the Dallas strategy is pretty cool. I don't know. He didn't say who it was.
I think it was Buffalo.
I don't know who it was either, but the logic behind it is that when you look back at last year, Jalen Hurts was dang near dead balls last in a ton of categories when it comes to versus zone coverage and versus man coverage. He was dang near at the top of the list in major categories versus man coverage.
Yeah.
So I think that is the reason why they went that route.
His arm.
Yeah, and it clearly worked in terms of stopping them through the air. Unfortunately, first half he was just taking whatever he could with his legs.
Couldn't stop him on the run.
Incredible job, I thought, by the defense there with that strategy, and then with the run fit adjustments they made, particularly in the second half. It's a big reason. I'm optimistic about where the Cowboys go from here after the week one. Even though they lost, they went toe to toe with the champs.
I would call
a chance to win.
Maybe the most encouraging loss that I can remember.
Yeah,
well
said.
The Bucks opener in 2021.
Yeah, good call. Good call.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I thought it was a very good game. I thought it was a very good debut, especially with the offense not playing, none in the preseason, defense not playing. So again, thinking about what the Cowboys did on Thursday night, the Cowboys are still kind of fiddling around with what combination they're going to use. They may even use a different combination of linebackers. I think they're going to use a different combination of linebackers this week. So I think we're going to see some different things with the Cowboys. I think the edge rushers, I think they're going to use a different combination of that. So I think we need to be a little bit more patient, rather than just writing the team off. I mean, Bobby, the boys are already writing them off. I had him down for 6 sacks for the season. So he still can't get them. He still can't get them. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. So it's early in the process. Brandy said, boys to men sounded the best. Said they sounded the best, boy. Man. Aiden Bowe, he said every sports chant is cheesy when you think about it. I guess that's kind of what makes them good, though, too. Brandon Mahodes, he said, G, do you sleep? I do sometimes. It always depends on the day. It depends on the day for sure, Brandy. For sure. Let's see here. Let's go over here. Let's talk about the NFC East power ranks. I'm very interested to see what the power ranks are going to be. I'm hoping they release the power ranks for the league tomorrow. I got a strange feeling the Cowboys may be in the top 15, or I would think they would be somewhere around 17 at the least, but we're going to see. Let me see if that's come up yet, but I want to look at, let's see. I want us to look at the NFC power ranks tonight. And then we're going to be talking about this Giants game. Yeah, we're going to be talking about this Giants game. Let's see, NFL Week 1. So that was going into. So hopefully they'll have the power rankings. The power rankings, hopefully they'll be out tomorrow, no later than Wednesday. We're going to talk about those. But let's kind of look at the NFL standings real quick. Okay, and so right now, if you look at the power rankings by the NFL, of course, mine isn't going to match the NFL. But when you look at the NFL power rank, I mean, just the standings, not the power rank, the standings. So the Commanders are at the number 1 spot. The Eagles are at the number 2 spot. The Cowboys at the number 3 spot. The Giants at the number 4 spot. And so the Cowboys, the Commanders, let's think about why the Commanders are up here. The Commanders are number 1 because even though they scored less points, their opponents only scored 6 points. The New York Giants only scored 6 points. Eagles played the Cowboys. They scored more points, but the Cowboys scored more points also. Cowboys lost 20-24. They look better than the Giants because the Giants only scored 6 points. Their opponent scored 21. So if you're looking at where the NFL is already looking right now, just based on how they do things, the Cowboys are 3rd. But I have a strange feeling coming out of this week, the Cowboys could be as high as number 2. The Cowboys could be as high as number 2. And I do think there's a very strong possibility the Cowboys are going to win this division. I just got a strange feeling the Cowboys are going to win this division. But let's kind of go to the the New York Giants. Let's kind of look at the New York Giants schedule real quick. So the New York Football Giants are playing the Cowboys this coming Sunday, and we're gonna be talking about the Giants going forward tomorrow all the way up until Sunday. I do think the Cowboys are going to beat the Giants, but the Giants have the Cowboys on Sunday at 12 p.m. Then we have the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs play the... Man, I'm sorry. I got to go through this. I want y'all to just look at this Giants schedule, man. Boy, at the rate the Giants are going, boy, this is crazy work, man. The Giants schedule is crazy. They got the Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Saints, the Eagles, the Broncos, the Eagles, the Giants, the Bears, the Packers, the Lions. Man, it is absolutely possible the Giants don't win a game until December the 1st. They might the game that I give them a chance in every game because on any given Sunday. But if I'm looking at this realistically, if the Cowboys play the way they're supposed to play, they're going to beat them. The Chiefs beat them. Chargers beat them. The game that I'm circling for them, their first win may be October the 5th against the Saints. That may absolutely be their first win. Golly. That is insane. With the way they're playing, their first win may be against the Saints. Their second win may be against the Giants. And maybe they find a way to beat one of the division rivals. But, oh man. Boy, it's going to be tough for the Giants this season. I'm just telling you. It is going to be absolutely tough for the Giants. Now, I'm going to tell you what my power rankings are. We're going to come back to that. I want to continue to go through the schedule. But I'm going to tell you what my power rankings are. This is kind of where I am. Let me write mine down real quick. But if I'm just looking at right now, NFC East. NFC East power rankings. This is where I am. I got the Eagles right now. And I'm going to tell you why. If you follow me on X, you'll know why. Follow me at Cowboys Let's Talk. But if I'm right now just going by what I saw week 1, this is my ranking, and I'll tell you why. So, NFC East power rankings, this is where I am. Eagles, number 1. Cowboys, number 2. Commanders, number 3. Giants, number 4. Now, I'm going to tell you why I got the Eagles at number 1. The Eagles were able to beat the Cowboys. Because I can't have the Cowboys power ranked at number 1 simply because they didn't win the game. But I'm going to give them this credit because the Eagles beat the Cowboys without Jalen Carter. Yep, they beat him without Jalen Carter. That is a big deal. And I thought about this the other day as I started to sleep on this. The Cowboys missed a great opportunity. It is not every day you're going to play a team without their best player. I don't care how that player, I don't care what the reason is why the player's not playing. But when you get an opportunity to play a team without their best defensive player, especially the disruptor that Jalen Carter is, man, boy, you got to win that game. That's why the fumble, the drops, all of that stuff matters. You got to win those games. And I do feel like the Cowboys did beat themselves, even though the Eagles played a part in it. But I'm still going to give them the number 1 spot because I do think by hook or crook, it was incredible that they were actually able to beat the Cowboys without Jalen Carter. When I think about the Cowboys, I say the Cowboys are number 2 because they beat themselves. And that is the reason why they're number 2. They didn't just beat themselves, but they beat themselves with self-inflicted wounds. And a lot of times when you see certain teams that don't get over the hump, Well, unfortunately, championship teams don't have self-inflicted wounds. This is why they go on the Super Bowls. The Cowboys got to get to that point. The Baltimore Ravens have got to get to that point. The Baltimore Ravens continue to shoot themselves in the foot no matter how you slice it. There is always, it's not that the other teams don't play a part in it, but the Ravens play a huge part in some of their losses. And so the Cowboys on Thursday night, they beat themselves with self-inflicted wounds. And you can't be the number one team in the NFC with self-inflicted wounds. I put them in number 2. When I think about the Commanders, it's very simple. They played the Giants. They played the Giants. They beat the Giants. I don't know if I can give you credit at this point for beating the Giants. The Giants just seem to be a team in disarray. And I think one of the reasons why they are in disarray, they kept Brian Daboll too long. This is a huge mistake by the Giants. Brian Daboll should have been fired last season. It's a huge mistake to keep this dude. I believe he's long lost the locker room. Long lost the locker room. Long lost the locker room. He still brought this dude back. Chose Daniel Jones over Saquon Barkley. Then they moved on from moved on from Daniel Jones. Saquon Barkley wins a Super Bowl. Daniel Jones took the job over there in Indianapolis. Now he's looking like an actual number 1 draft pick. I mean, when you just think about this in the grand scheme of things, man, the Giants in disarray. And Daboll is the problem. And it is no doubt he is on his way out. Bringing in Russell Wilson, I believe, is a mistake. The Giants, let's just say it like it is. The Giants are a mess. They are a mess. And I think they made a huge mistake keeping Daboll. And they're going to be at the bottom. I mean, unless they make some kind of huge turnaround. I'm just already marking the Giants off the list. They're gonna be 4th in this thing no matter what. They're gonna be 4th in this thing no matter what. It's a 3-man race at this point. So let's continue to look at this schedule and kind of see where we could fare. And we'll talk about this as we go on during the week. But it's Cowboys After Dark. So the Giants are visiting the Cowboys this week. Giants versus the Cowboys. All right, so let's go back real quick. I want to look at these scores. Look at the schedule for these other 2 teams. Let's go back and look at the... I want to look at the Commanders' schedule. Let's see. Let's look at Philly's schedule next. I already got them pulled up. So Philadelphia is going to Kansas City. Philadelphia is going to Kansas City. Man, let me tell you something. This is a pretty this is a pretty tough little run right here for the Eagles. This is a pretty tough run right here. They got the Chiefs and the Rams. Chiefs and the Rams. I got a strange feeling the Chiefs are not going 0-2. I got a strange feeling the Chiefs are not going 0-2. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to Kansas City. I'm definitely going to be watching that game. I am picking the Chiefs in that game. I am absolutely picking the Chiefs in that game. Yep. Philly, go to the Chiefs. I'm taking the Chiefs at home. I'm going to come to y'all's comments in just a moment. We'll be looking at this down the stretch too. And let's look at the Commanders. Boy, I'm telling you, they had a very easy out this week. It was too easy. It was actually too easy. How easy it was for them. Man, you're talking about playing the Giants. I don't even think the score is reflective of just how terrible this doggone Giants team is. I mean, the Commanders could have really put a whooping on them. Now, this is a very interesting game. The Washington Commanders. Oh, this is going to be must-watch TV. The Commanders are playing the Green Bay Packers. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be good. This is going to be good. Let's check it out. Commanders at the Packers, Thursday, 7:15. Man, it's going to be a tough game, but I got to be honest with us. I ain't going to even front. I'm not going to even front on this one. Man, Commanders going to Green Bay. Even with Micah Parsons not playing, I would have still taken Green Bay in this game. So if my predictions are correct, where I am right now, all three of the visiting teams will actually lose this week. Giants lose to the Cowboys. Philly loses to the Chiefs. Commanders lose to Green Bay. That's where I am. I believe the Commanders are going to lose to Green Bay. Probably in the NFL standings right now, of course, like I said, the Commanders are number 1. I think the Commanders are probably going to slide to number 3. Cowboys will probably move up to number 2. Eagles will remain in number 1 because they're going to be 1-1, but they'll have the tiebreaker already over the Cowboys. They'll be at number 1. The Commanders, I think they get beat by Green Bay. We'll see by how many points. That's what it's going to depend on. If the Cowboys come out and do what they're supposed to do against the Giants, the Cowboys should easily win by more than the Cowboys should win easily by more than double digits against the New York Giants. I mean, if everything goes right, the Cowboys, man, we may actually have a Joe Milton. We may actually have a Joe Milton sighting, man. we may have a Joe Milton sighting against the doggone Eagles. I mean, against the Giants. I mean, it's really that crucial. Yeah, it's going to be that crucial. Let me read some of the comments now. Let's get the comments going. Coyote said, I expect the Cowboys D-line will ball out on the Giants. Man, me too. Night and day difference against the Eagles. For real. Coyote, a lot of people don't realize a lot of teams don't have the personnel the Philadelphia Eagles have. The Philadelphia Eagles are a very good team. They really are. Lil Buzz said Philly's supposed to have had the best O-line. Give Easy some credit. That's the whole point. That's what I was saying, Lil Bud. People do not understand how good the Eagles the Eagles offensive and defensive lines are. And so that's why I'm laughing that this dude tries to write Donovan Ezraku off after one game. Come on, man. One game? Mason said Easy got 16 and a half sacks last year in college. We got to get him some time. The sacks will come. Man, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Let's see, just for fun. Let's see here. All right. So just for fun here, as we're talking about Donovan Ezeraku, and I know this is not going to tell the entire tape. Let's see. Okay, so Donovan Ezeraku, 1 tackle, 1 pressure, 22 defensive snaps. That's what it says here. Played 22 snaps. Let's go to Micah Parsons' rookie season just for fun and kind of see how he fared. It's not going to tell us how many plays, but I'm sure he played more plays. But the Cowboys look a lot different than what they did when Michael got here, and they're doing some things a whole lot different. Let's see here. All right, so the 4th column is the sack column. So Micah Parsons in his first game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Micah Parsons had 0 sacks. 0 sacks. Donovan Ezeraku had 0 sacks. Micah Parsons had more tackles, but I'm sure he played more snaps. I don't even have to be a betting person. I am sure he played more snaps. Second game was against the Chargers. Micah Parsons had 1 sack, half a sack against Philly, 1 sack against the Panthers. And then the next 3 games, 0 sacks. Quite a bit of tackles, it looks like. 0 sacks, those 3 games. He had 2.5 against Denver, 1 against Atlanta, 2 against KC, 1 against Las Vegas, 1 against New Orleans, 2 against Washington, 0 against the New York Giants, 1 against Washington, 0 against Arizona. So let's give Donovan Ezeraku a chance, man. It's only been 1 game. Micah Parsons got 0 sacks in his first game. Let's get his dude a break. I mean, these guys, there are so many people that are so quick. They are literally ready to throw Donovan Ezeraku in the trash. It's crazy to me. It's absolutely crazy to me that people are so ready to throw. I'm telling us Philadelphia is a very good team. Philadelphia is a very, very good team. Miss Major said, I'm dreading Lions week because their defense played dirty, especially that Aiden kid. I'm sure they won't call it then. Miss Matrix, I'm telling you, Detroit looked different. Green Bay couldn't have held a candle to Green Bay couldn't hold a candle to Detroit last year. They look different without their offensive and defensive coordinators. And I think Dan Campbell is upset because I think Dan Campbell realizes they missed a golden opportunity. They really did. They missed a golden opportunity. When you got a team, in particular, when you got a team like that and the coaches who know how to put them in positions to be successful, and then people come and pluck those coaches before you can win a championship with them, boy, to say that sucks is an understatement. To say that sucks is an understatement. Now they got to get a whole new coaching staff, getting used to all these players, putting them in position to win, and who knows if they even fit the scheme. It is just, It's terrible. It's terrible. And again, we got to wait and see. We got to wait and see with the Cowboys. 1 game, and it was Philadelphia. We may look the polar opposite this week against the New York Giants. We may look the polar opposite. We may come out this week. Cowboys linebackers look absolutely fabulous. Miles Sanders may absolutely go bonkers on the Giants. It may be an entirely different game going up against the Giants this week, and we may be thinking different. That's why I say I really do think the Cowboys need about a 4-game snapshot before they start jumping to conclusions on what they need and what they don't need. Just kind of look at it from game to game. You've had a very tough game against the Eagles. Now you're going to have a game against the Giants where I think you're going to be able to try out some different things because the Giants are not really good in every place like the Philadelphia Eagles were. I think the Chicago Bears, I think they're going to be another good test for the Cowboys, but I think the Cowboys, if they just do what they're supposed to do, they should be able to overcome them too. And I got a strange feeling Matt Eberflus is going to have a game plan for the ages for the Chicago Bears. He may not know Ben Johnson's plays, even though he faced Ben Johnson being in Chicago. He faced him in Detroit twice, faced him 4 times. He kind of knows what he is. But the thing that I like about what Matt Eberflus is going to bring to the table as it applies to Ben Johnson is he also knows the players. Because Ben Johnson knows Matt Eberflus too. But Ben Johnson don't know the Cowboys players. And that's going to be the advantage. Matt Eberflus may know some places where he can exploit the Chicago Bears and exploit some things with Caleb Williams. So we're going to see. It's going to be a very good chess match against the Chicago Bears. So we'll see how that goes. But first things first, got to get through this Giants game. Get through this Giants game with no injuries again. Keep everybody healthy and just keep rolling. Just keep rolling. Daniel Lim said if we start the season 0-2. Man, I just got a strange, Daniel, I got a strange feeling. I don't know. I'm not proclaiming to be a prophet, even though some may call me that in the next 2 years. I got a strange feeling the Cowboys are not going to go 0-2 unless something insane happens. Unless something insane happens. That's all I can tell you. But I think this Cowboys team is going to look a lot better against the Giants. I think their defense is going to look even more ferocious against the Giants. And I do think we will get turnovers against the Giants. Lil Bud, you know what? That was a PI. Yeah, that was a pass interference. Straight up pass interference on CeeDee Lamb. But the referees were holding the flags all night long on the Cowboys. They were holding the flags all night long. Donovan Ezra-Rocco got held. Sam Williams was getting held. It was just insane. Some of this stuff was so bad, even the cameras. I mean, you're just seeing it right there in front of the cameras. They didn't do anything about it. But I think CD is going to be great this week. But I do think this is also going to be the George Pickens game. Yep, I think it's going to be the George Pickens game for sure. Yeah, and again, I'm not worried about the Detroit Lions. The Lions got a whole lot of things to worry about. We got to see if the Lions can even take off. Because I'm telling you, boy, the Lions, they just didn't look good against Green Bay at all. But I do think some of these teams, it all depends on where you are. A lot of these teams are struggling. You know, they didn't play their starters in the preseason. And so whoever comes out the gate better, those teams are faring better. But again, let's just wait and see where all these teams are by game 5 and 6. First 4 games of the season, that's a good snapshot to kind of give your team an understanding of where they are. So I think the Cowboys, this is why I think the Cowboys, they don't need to jump no gun. People keep talking about what the Cowboys need to go do. Don't jump any guns yet. The Cowboys need to see what they are through the first 4 games. Then they can go and turn around and say, okay, maybe we need to do this. Maybe we need to do that. Maybe we need to do this. So I'm good. I'm good. I'm very good. I'm not sure what they rated the Green Bay Packers, but I can tell you this. The Cowboys were the number 2. They ranked number 2 against pressure this past week. They were the number 2 ranked team. Let's see. I'm gonna have to subscribe to Pro Football Focus here pretty soon. Okay, I don't see anything just yet where they have it all ranked. Not to mention, I forgot there was a game tonight. So okay, let's throw this up. I found something here real quick. Looks like they already have this up. I don't know who this is. Week 2, Draft Sharks. Week number 2. Looks like the Denver Broncos, number 1 this week. Pittsburgh, number 2. But let's get down to what you want to know. Dallas Cowboys, number 24. Let me see. I don't know what all these stats are. Let's see. Strength of schedule. Okay. Opponents, points, yards, sacks, fumble recoveries, defensive, blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right. So if we're just kind of going by this, I'd like to see what Pro Football Focus is saying, though. Cowboys were number 24. Green Bay Packers were number 26. If this is anywhere near accurate. But that's kind of where we are. Cowboys look really, really good this week. Look absolutely good this week. So, all right, let's read a few more comments before we get out of here. But Clark, the Cowboys only gave up 2.8 yards per carry as far as the run game goes. The Cowboys stopped the Philadelphia Eagles with the exception of Jalen Hurts. I still say they should have had Maurice Leafau. I still say they should have had him as a spy. Yep. I think they should have had him as a spy. But again, none of this matters. None of this matters if there's not any doggone none of this matters if there's not drop passes and fumbles, I think. Yeah, Murray ain't sitting. I don't believe Murray's sitting. Yeah, I don't believe Murray's sitting. I mean, I don't think he's sitting, man. Yeah, I think I think what you may see though is Maurice getting some more playing time. Daniel M. The Giants' schedule is brutal. Especially for the caliber of team they are, man. Whew. Schedule is brutal, bro. Brutal. The Cowboys, the Eagles, that whole NFC East schedule is going, I mean, whew. That whole thing is going to be tough, man. It is. So we're going to see how it turns out. Ryan said he don't know why the Giants always get the tough schedules. Boy, they don't care nothing about those boys, man. Man. Daniel said 34-10 Cowboys over the Giants and Russ will get sacked 4 times. Ezra Rocco gets his first career sack. Like I said, man, a lot of people don't understand the Cowboys are not running this defense the same way they did when Micah Parsons was here. The Cowboys are trying to create rotations. They're trying to keep guys fresh. And so guys aren't going to get the same amount of snaps. I don't even think Micah Parsons was going to play as many snaps this year as he's played in the past. So we'll see. We'll see. Raheem said, come on, G, we number 3. We are 3rd on this list. Well, on the NFC, they're just going by points and things like that. I'm going by my own power rankings. And on my power rankings, I got the Cowboys at number 2. I can't get a Commanders number 2 because the reason why I can't give the Commanders number 2 is because they beat the Giants. I can't do it. And again, Raheem, you'll see on the power rankings, though. The weird thing about the power rankings happens every week. Teams lose, and they don't lose their spot, or they're still above teams that may even have a better record. You'll see as this power ranking thing starts playing out this year, happens all the time. Happens all the time. We'll see, though. Raheem said, I want to beat the Commanders more than I want to beat the Eagles, though. You know, we pretty much owned the Commanders. We almost beat the Commanders twice last year. We beat them once with Cooper Rush. Almost beat them again with Trey Lance. So I don't think we're going to have as much of a problem with them, but I do think the Eagles are a problem this year. Prime, I agree with you. The Chiefs are nothing like they once was, but they usually have a slow start. I think they're going to beat the Eagles. I just wonder if they might have even overlooked the Chargers. Look, Bud, he said the Commanders I think he's talking about the Commanders. He said they're the DC Commodes. Daniel M said the Packers are going to destroy they're going to destroy them. I think so too. But hey, you know what? You never know. Any given Sunday. This is why I'm saying this is a huge test for Brian Schottenheimer. This is a huge test for Brian Schottenheimer. It's one thing to get your team ready for the Eagles. Thursday night football, opening night, Super Bowl flag ceremony. I mean, all this stuff, man, that's different. Boy, when you start talking about playing a team that everybody knows is bad, boy, you got to be careful with those. They call them joints. I think they call them trap games, right? Got to be careful. Cowboys got to come out here and prepare. I'm telling you, they got to come out here and prepare for the Giants like they are the best team in the league. Suge Midnight, yes sir. Hope this team don't sleep on any opponents, especially the Giants. Play them mofos like they the top team in the league. That's what I've been saying. Shoot. Man, you come out here man. Come out here and put them boys, boy. Come out here and beat them boys like a drum. Beat them doggone Giants like a drum. Brian Worley, he said we need to run the ball. Yeah, we're gonna have to get better at running the ball, but I do think our offense does dictate the fact that we probably need to. We definitely need to play to our strengths too, and our strength right now is. All right, our strength right now is our passing game. Let me see something here. I want to look at the player stats real quick on the Giants-Commanders game. So Russell Wilson was 17 of 37, 168 yards. Yeah, this is why I want to see the rushing. Oh, wow. Look at the rushing by the Giants. Man, Cowboys may have 5 sacks in this game. I think we may even see Kenny Clark with a sack this week. Tyrone Tracy, 10 for 24. Devin Singletary, 3 for 9. Cameron Scatterbo, 2 for -3. The receiving, Malik Neighbors, 5 for 71. Wandale Robinson, 6 for 55. Oh, wow. Whew. Man, if Cowboys come out and play them like they played the Eagles, I'm serious. We may see Joe Milton. We may see Joe Milton by the fourth quarter. Seriously, we may see Joe Milton by the fourth quarter. Golly. Whew. Let's look at the team stats on this game. Commanders had 432 total yards. You see here. Time of possession was pretty equal. 2 sacks by the given up by the Giants. Cowboys going to have to be careful. Three sacks look like given up by the Commanders. The Giants have a very good offensive line. But for the most part, golly, boy, this was brutal. Brutal. 231 yards of total. Cowboys got to be ready. They got to be ready. Everybody gives the Cowboys their best punch. Cowboys going to have to be ready. They got to come out and spank these boys. And I really believe the Cowboys need to come out and knock them out early. Knock them out early. Seriously, knock them out early, man. Don't even let them get in the game. The score on this game, it was actually 14-3. Looks like it was 14. Looks like it was 14-3 up here at the half. 14-6 in the third quarter. And then they pulled off 21-6. The Cowboys don't even need to play around that close. I just think the Cowboys need to put a knockout blow on them. Cowboys need to score 28, 35 points in the first half. Maybe score another touchdown in the third. Turn it over to Joe Milton. Let Dak Prescott call it a day. I think the Cowboys need to put a knockout blow on them. This team has a very good defensive line. Don't even give them a chance. Don't even give them a chance. Just knock them out the box. Derek G said if we don't watch it, G, it's going to happen to us just like it did against the Lions. Eberflus and Clayton Adams, they'll snatch them. Oh, yeah. Boy, yeah. Yeah. The Lions missed an opportunity, man. They really did. They really did. And I think Dan Campbell knows it too. I thought Ben Johnson looked pretty good for the most part today. They just couldn't hold on. Minnesota came back and put a whooping on them boys. I'm with you, Daniel Lamb. You need to get him ready for battle, man. He got to get him ready for battle. I'm telling you, I'm preparing for this team like it's... Well, I'm sorry. I'm preparing for this team like it's a Super Bowl. I'm serious. I'm preparing for this team like it's a playoff game, boy. I'm serious. Daniel Lamb said we up by 4 or 5 scores by then and Milton can have 100 yards. Yeah, we may see Milton. If the Cowboys do what they're supposed to do, we may see Milton. No later than the end of the third. We may see Milton. Cowboys need to come out there and put a country whooping on them. Just come out and annihilate them. Don't even give them a chance. Commanders had them in the game way too much. Way too much. 14-6 in the third quarter. That ain't enough. Beat them boys like a drum. Mollywop them. Mollywop them. For real. Hate to see Winfrey's on IR. Was looking forward to seeing him in the real game. We should be fine this week without him. Brian Worley, what up? Brian Worley said everybody on the defense getting a sack. Hey, MJ, the legend gaming. I said this last week. I said this should have been the play last week. I thought the first play should have been the George Pickens a bomb. Lil Bud, I agree. If we come out like we did on the Eagles, they're in trouble. No doubt. Yeah, James Geary. The Cowboys will be ready with Brian Schottenheimer. Man, he did it with the Eagles. And if he does this the way I think he's going to do against the Giants, just another step that the Cowboys have taken to where one thing Schottenheimer never could do, he never could get this team up for the games they should win. Just couldn't do it. Ryan said Lions not making the playoffs this year. I'm calling it. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Daniel said he got Ernest Brown IV and Buddy Johnson called up for Sunday's game. We'll see. Daniel Lim, boy, I think if we lose, it's going to be a disappointment for everybody, boy. Whew. Dominic Pittman, what's going on? He said, I know I missed a great show this morning. I hope you got some rest today. I'm about to get some when I get off here. I'm going to go get me some. I'm going to wind down. Azteca said our defense is going to make Perion's and Oprah proud against the Giants. You get a sack. You get a sack. You too. Boy. I'm excited, man. We're gonna be talking about these New York Giants. We're gonna shift to the New York Giants starting tomorrow. We're gonna be shifting to the New York Giants, checking out more interviews. I'm pretty sure Brian Schottenheimer will have a press conference every day. I would imagine Jerry Jones is gonna be today. So I'm looking forward to hearing Jerry Jones and just more Cowboys news and more NFL news as it shakes down. But this is kind of where we are right now. But I'm telling us, man, the Cowboys culture. The Cowboys, you know how we say you do it for the culture? I think what the Cowboys have done, they did it for the culture, so I'm good. Yeah, we're going to make sure, we're going to make that a regular thing, Daniel M. Every week we're going to have that prayer. We're going to have that prayer the day before the Cowboys play. So we're going to have it on Saturday we'll have a prayer for the Cowboys on Saturday. And we definitely praying for the health of Dak Prescott. Man is on a mission. He looking different. I want him to succeed. So, again, man, I appreciate y'all rocking with me on this Monday night. I think what we're going to probably do, if the Lord is willing, we're probably going to do Cowboys After Dark on Mondays. I'm thinking about doing Mondays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Simply because Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, Sunday Night Football. So those 3 nights will probably be Cowboys After Dark. I think that's where we're going to go with that. So 3 nights a week. It's going to be good. It's a great season. So excited. We got game 1 out of the way. Game 2 coming up on Sunday. Daniel said if we get a 50 burger on Sunday, he said, I'm buying visors for everybody, G. Yes, sir. Hey, you better be careful what you say. I'm telling you. Cowboys may get turnovers and everything this week. I won't be surprised. Interceptions, fumbles, touchdowns on defense, everything. I won't be surprised. Let me see here. Oh, yeah, Lil Buzz said, Jerry said he done talking. He taking Kent Clark. Yeah, for real. I'm just telling us, man. It's like Jerry comes out, says what he needs to say, and then he done. It's like Jerry's been super quiet. Cowboys Nation 600, what up? What he said? Thanks, Unc G, coming through with the late night live. Yes, sir. Yeah, we're gonna do 3 nights a week minimum during the football season. Minimum. Might even do 4 depending upon how I'm feeling. I agree, Daniel M. I would love to see Dak with a 300-yard game. 300-yard game, 3 tubs, sitting on the bench, 4th quarter, chilling. That's what I would like to see. That's what I would like to see. But again, Daniel M., Cowboys gonna have to be careful trying to come out if they try to come out and be pass happy. Because them Giants, boy, they got a defensive line. You mess around, they'll get in that backfield and strip sack, fumble your quarterback in a minute. Cowboys going to be careful. All right, guys, we're going to talk more Cowboys and Giants starting today. Cowboys again Sunday at 12 p.m. Looking forward to it. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all rocking with me. Until the next time, let's talk Cowboys. GC4L. God bless. Let's talk Cowboys. We talk facts. Peace.
Yo, G, bless him, bless him, bless him.